just a bloke in a bar.
What about what was your first talk to your parents about, not that, but about like drugs and alcohol?
So I just got back from like a dance or something, obviously of drinking age. And I woke up the next day, I was staying at my old man's place. I woke up the next day and I was like, what the fuck? The bed's like, I felt like I was sweating heaps.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what's going on? Like, I surely haven't sweated this much. And Dad just comes in and is like, hey mate, how you going? How's your night? And I'm like, good. I'm like, I think the dog might have pissed on me. Again, like I can't smell, so I'm not the dog might have pissed on me.
I can't smell.
And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, the fucking bed's all wet. And he's like, nah, dude, I think you might have pissed the bed. And I'm like, what? I didn't think that was a thing you could do when you're drunk.
People shit the bed.
Well, thankfully, haven't crossed that bridge with Dad.
That's a line you can't come back from.
So then I think that was a bit more of a like one where it's like, all right, get it together.
Yeah.
Woo up.
I tell you, I had both Birds and the Bees and the drugs and alcohol.
At the same time or two separate?
Two separate occasions. So Mum just talked to me about, so we were driving, I can remember it vividly, and we were driving home from school and she just basically bailed me up and was like, listen, we know you're young, you know, obviously of drinking age, but we just, if you do anything, please just let us know. So whatever you do, we just need you to communicate with us that you did it. We won't be mad, we won't get angry, we won't be disappointed. We just need you to tell us what we do. And I was like, at the time, I was so grateful that I had that open path of like not getting in trouble if I did something wrong. So that was a good one. The bad one was, this is so awkward. So I had my first girlfriend over and like, I think it would have been like 16 or 17 or whatever. Anyway, so she was over and we were just like sitting in the room or whatever. I go out to get something to eat and my dad happens to be in the kitchen and the kitchen was a substantial space away from the bedroom. And he was like, it got awkward and we're like looking at each other. And he was like, you right, son? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, you're good? And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty good, Dad.
Good, Dad.
He's like, do you need anything? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, do you need anything? Like, correction? And I was like, Jesus Christ, Dad, what the hell? I ran out of there, walked out like awkward as, but I did appreciate it. I did appreciate that he could talk to me about it.
Yeah.
And I also remember the first time we had like the broken heart chat. Like I had broken up with my missus, it would have been, I don't know, 17 years old or whatever. And my dad like sat me down, he's like telling me his war stories and he was like, man, when I was younger, I broke up with a chick and I thought I would never be okay again. I went and when she gave me this present, I went and like threw it in the ocean. I was so devastated. And, you know, I recovered. You're going to be all right, son. You're going to be all right, son.
Dude, broken hearts. Your first broken hearts generally, but your first broken heart fucks you up. You're like, oh, I didn't know there was a feeling like this.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this sucks ass.
It like physically hurts you.
You get dumped.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck. Dumped.
And then every dumping you get less
desensitized
to it.
You get desensitized to it, but you still don't. Thank Christ she's my wife now, but she dumped me. We've said this on the podcast a bunch. 2 weeks out from a fucking holiday. Yep. With Eddie, with his missus, with Streety and mates. And
we went on to have a wonderful time.
Yeah, but I didn't.
We had one of the great trips. And we always...
She tried to say to me,
we bought him presents and shit along the way, stuff that wouldn't fit him just to really piss him off.
But she was like, do you want to still go with him? I'm like, no, I don't want to still go with him because that's... But I just remember being like heartbroken. I was working at a bottle shop and you just stand out on the street just because like a lot of time there'd be fuck all going on. And I was just standing out the front door just like, you know, probably listening to Coldplay. And then my mate, Listo, who knew, like everyone, and he comes out and he goes, fuck, dude, you look like shit. Are you all right? And I'm like, oh, am I? No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Don't worry about it. No, I'm fine. Anyway, what, can I get you something? What do you want? And it was just like, oh, dude, heartbreak. Fuck that.
Heartbreak.
That's such a blokey way to do it. Like, bruh, you look like shit, eh?
Yeah.
But it's coming from a place of care. Like,
well, it's probably the best way to broach it rather than be like, man, are you okay getting dumped?
And then you like break down. No,
at work. I had already booked accommodation.
Here's a good one. When was the last time you fully cried?
Like cried?
Like not just like, oh, a bit of tears in your eyes.
Like bawled?
Bawled. Like, I can't even... I'm thinking when I was a teenager, maybe.
Oh, nah, fuck. I would have definitely bawled in my adult life, like in the last couple of years. I was yeah.
Wow.
Something would have obviously got me.
Not for ages.
Yes, what I mean. Like, I can't remember.
I am now. I was at the pub fucking in tears at Shane Warne's funeral.
But there's a difference between like having watery eyes and what Dan's talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know when that would have been.
Late teenage years,
but that
maybe.
sort of cry is only really reserved for like traumatic shit, I feel. I'm not just doing it from like we had an argument. Like, you know what I mean? It's not.
Well,
sad shit might get me like that, but I can't think of any moment when.
You know what I always.
Ella's cried like that off arguments.
Well, chicks are different.
Well, that's my point.
Yeah.
So it's not just traumatic.
Well, no, but it is for us, I would say. Right. For blokes, usually I'd say that it's more of like, to get that sort of emotional, it's usually like a traumatic thing. If it's off like chicks.
But I'll water up. Don't worry about that.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with watering up. Water up whenever you want.
Good movie. Did I say it last week? I got teary in an ad for the Block.
Yeah. Well, it must have been emotional.
They were catching up with their family again. Anything to do with kids and shit now, I'm just like,
that hits you?
Hey,
just boom, arrow to the heart.
Straight away.
I never understood when people like, blokes, they're too scared to like tear up in front of each other. If I ever saw my mate tearing up, that would not make me feel, I would be like, you're good, bro. Like,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I would never.
I think it's always the person feeling that way.
Yeah, I would never look at them as lesser. You would never think
about it about your friend, but you would maybe about yourself.
Yeah, maybe. But I would never sit there and go, oh, what am I going to listen to you?
Bro, I'd hold you if you cried.
Yeah.
I'd hold you.
Matty,
I'd hold you too.
I'll hold you, Matty.
We've held
each other.
We held a mate.
We've held a mate. Yeah. We've held a mate.
I think most blokes have.
Holding.
We just don't like.
Yeah, don't like talking about it.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
If you need a Holden,
hold your mate.
Not a Holden, not a car.
Yeah, that's gone. They're all
no,
extinct.
they're done. I'm talking about.
I saw a new one that was fucking looking pretty schmick today.
Really?
Actually. Yeah, I was like, where the fuck did that come from?
I can't work out what's going on with Holdens. Are they done?
I thought they were done.
They're not being made here.
Are they just transitioning them into MG, or they've stopped making them all together, or is that even right?
You know what? Boom, nice jumpers.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Yep, that's a good point.
We should do Dior.
Yeah, Dior.
Well, or someone else could do it.
Yeah,
someone
that's true.
Yeah,
who's off camera.
Someone who's off camera could Google what's happened to Holden.
Don't cut to my camera, Matty. Don't cut to my camera.
They are schmick. I like them. I like the light grey, not grey, but that black that's a bit softer.
We got charcoal.
I like it.
Yeah.
The font is obviously beautiful. I like it, boys.
Yeah,
I think you've executed that with precision.
Thank you.
If I'm being honest,
we're precision guys.
Yeah.
Precision operators.
Yeah.
Who don't mind a bit of precision.
Yeah, but also you're okay with missing the target sometimes too.
You've got to be prepared to miss the target if you want to hit the target.
That's right. You've got to miss to hit.
Well, it's like what the great Jordan said, I'm pretty sure. Right. I missed 9,000 whatever shots.
In my career, yeah.
And you only saw the ones I made. And we're watching 2 shots that you definitely made right now.
Yeah. You're watching us hit caught shots.
Would you say you're the Jordan of podcasting?
Yes.
Yes. Look, you said it. I agree with you. I wouldn't say it, but I agree.
Do you reckon
you're like the Magic Johnson?
Yes.
You're like Magic. You were like sick, and then and then Jordan came along.
Do you reckon there'll be a doco? You guys will do a doco called The Last Potty?
Yeah, exactly. The Last Dribble.
The Last Dribble? And it'll be you going.
Well, we did a t-shirt.
We did do a t-shirt Last Dribble.
Yeah. And like you'll do the potty and you'll start crying, I'm only doing this. If you don't want to step in the game, you don't have to step in the game. I just wanted to be the best.
Yeah. That's
you don't want a podcast like that. Don't podcast like that.
That was the most insane moment ever.
I love that scene.
It was the best because it's like he hasn't cried about anything else other than winning.
Yeah,
that guy's a motherfucker.
Yeah,
but and how he was perceived. Like it was more. I liked that it was. It seemed to me that he was. That being a tyrant and winning all the time, like he knew it was taking a toll, but like he just couldn't turn it off.
Yeah, and he was sick of also like, I'm getting heat for being a tyrant, but we won Prems, baby.
And
if you don't want to win, fuck off.
Yeah, and he's, you know what? He's got a point.
He's got a great point.
He's got a fucking great point.
And then it's just like him ripping and tearing, like dragging his fucking, like leading those runs and shit and dragging his teammates along.
I know that this isn't the point, but why were his eyes so yellow? That is a condition, and I just want to know what it is.
I do think it's funny that I think he cried in the Kobe Bryant funeral. He was crying.
Yep.
And he said, I think it was in the funeral, I could be wrong, Dior. and he said, "I've just created another crying Jordan meme." And I was like, "It is so crazy that this legend has been hounded by a pathetic, hilarious, I will give it that, meme. Like he's been hounded by this just dog shit, and he's like a legend of
When did the
world
crying meme
sport.
come from? Was that from his like retirement or Hall of Fame speech or
I'm
some
not
shit?
sure,
Or like,
but fuck, what's funny is that kind of died. Like I haven't really seen it since. It's kind of like once he acknowledged it, it's like okay, the joke's over. Maybe.
I wonder how, and I feel
I haven't seen it for ages.
I'm asking
what I
this
mean?
question because I've heard someone else, so I'm not being like ultra fucking philosophical. But I wonder how like memes will be viewed sort of in the fullness of time, because they're like
War paintings, I reckon.
In terms of just how the way like comedy evolves, and it's sort of just been reduced, not in a negative way, but just down to this like immediately consumable fucking joke where it's just like,
memes are like new as a form of...
Yeah, they're like since in the last 10, 15 years.
But isn't that
20
interesting?
years.
Yeah.
Like this new sort of form of communication of comedy of like entertainment.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
Well,
it's
I reckon it'll be viewed kind of like when people go back 1,000 years and they look at like war paintings and go, well, this is what they were experienced during this time because we can date the rock, okay, and they've got buffaloes and whatever, and it sounds stupid, but I think if you go fast forward 2,000 years, they'll look back at memes and go, what was the zeitgeist? What were the memes being put together?
Are you saying we should be putting memes on rocks?
Hey, I wouldn't mind it.
And it'd be a way to guarantee
that's
that
a
at least
hipster meme because it's like ironic, old school.
Well, they are basically, in 2,000 years, the internet as we have it now will look like, it will basically be the equivalent of a rock.
Right,
Yeah,
but
that
you
is
also want to
fucking very
safeguard
true.
yourself from, say, a solar flare, a cataclysmic event, which is going to wipe out technology as we know it. So you're going to need to have some Jordan memes on rocks.
Do you reckon that's the way it works?
I'm saying there's a chance there is, and you're safeguarding yourself. It's like, why are we putting fucking seeds in silos in Siberia? In case. So I'm saying we got to get some of these real primo memes up on rocks.
Go out to like...
You've got servers in silos as well.
Primo, have they got memes on there?
There'd be memes on there.
Do you reckon there is a bunker that has been all agreed to by the world leaders of like the crucial information to kickstart civilization
of the
again?
world, yeah, I think so.
And there's a bunker and it like
And all you
literally-
need is electricity to fucking...
and that like, because like think about it, if let's say tomorrow we woke up and everything was blown apart and we lost half the world's population or more, there'd be so many things that we take for granted as knowledge that
Tell you what one would be.
that couldn't be passed on.
I've got one for you. Hot water in a house. Don't have it currently. I'm having cold showers like Wim Hof.
Wow.
If the
I'm
world
still not back.
I had a fucking cold shower today and I feel fantastic. Maybe it's a new way of life of me. I don't know. I don't want to fucking make
So
it
the
all
plumber
about
lied to
me.
you yesterday.
He said that he was going to be back around today to fix it, and that there was also an electrical issue, which he couldn't guarantee that he was going to have someone around to fix. So I got up this morning, didn't shower. I've been showering with like a warm pot of water.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Because you
bro.
can't Wim Hof it.
Can't Wim Hof it.
No,
You don't have Wim Hof in you.
I Wim Hof today.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm up and about.
You are up.
dude.
You up to that?
I'm
bro.
up, dude.
I tell you, I will say, even though it used to hurt so much, after a session when we used to have to always do ice baths, it makes you feel so good. So good.
Yeah.
It like, you feel almost like high to a degree. Like it makes you
Energized.
just like feel fresh.
Yeah.
So ice baths, and people
Tough to do.
Oh, they're tough. They sting. Some people are really good at them and some people just can't. And it's not even about toughness. I've seen the toughest bloke on a footy field struggling in an ice bath. And then I've seen a guy that it would be considered not tough on a footy field be like, I'm sweet.
You just need to get past, like, there's like a 1 or 2 minute barrier with an ice bath.
Yeah.
That you get past, and then everything's fucking numb anyway. So you
Yeah, you
just
can't feel anything. Matty, what's the go with Holden?
Yeah, so Eddie was right. They've stopped manufacturing in Australia, but they can still source it from like US, Europe, etc.
Wow. Edward's always right. It's very rarely that Edward gets it right.
If I fucking checked the tape, pretty sure I said they stopped manufacturing in
Oh,
Australia.
I apologise.
I think Eddie said it.
No, he just said he stayed silent and then he laughed. So
Right.
fuck
I think
all
you're
of you.
taking credit for Eddie's great call.
No,
wouldn't
well,
it?
listen, okay, maybe check the tape. I would encourage you all now just to, if you can be
I'm
fucked.
confident Eddie
skip
came
that.
up with that.
Can you timestamp it, Matty?
I'm
Timestamp
confident that
Tom.
at the very least he said something that triggered that in your mind. Therefore, it's his idea.
Again, we're going to have to check the tape. I disagree. But, obviously, luckily I've had an ice bath today because I caught you out there. I caught you out to the fuck. Usually I
Can we
might
all agree
not.
though? Eddie was closer to the mark than Tom.
I fucking was
As
the
always.
mark.
It's all up here, baby. It's all up here.
Cold showers. It's the only way you can stop
Wim
people
Hof.
stealing your shit.
Wim Hof.
What's
Yeah.
why is it big of you getting thicker?
Bro,
Is there
I
a
need
reason?
to trim it. I just haven't. I'm not trimming my beard myself anymore. Because I don't trust myself largely.
Okay. What do
you mean?
Well, like I like going to the barber and getting him to shape it up.
You get it done at the barber.
Well, I haven't. It's just a fucking nightmare now. It's a big pube.
How many
salad
times
on
you gone
my
to the
face.
barber to get it done?
I wouldn't have a count on that.
We're just wondering if it's like a thing or if it's you did it.
I
once.
would-
I tell you what, if you're going to the barber to get a beard trim, you've moved up in the world.
It's pretty ritzy.
Tom, 12 months ago, he's not doing that shit.
No way.
I was doing it
cash.
12.
Tom
I was-
12 months ago.
I was
cutting his
doing-
own hair.
Absolutely.
I was cutting my own hair at the start of this year, and I fucked that up as well. No.
Big cash, eh?
He was recycling cling wrap.
I can't
12 months
afford-
ago.
I can't afford to get me beard trimmed,
Well, you don't have one.
but I could grow a little moustache.
Do it.
We've done it.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
yeah, do it again.
I can't afford that shit. Matty, can you afford beard trims? I can't.
no. No way.
You pair it with a haircut. I'm due a haircut coming up.
Yeah,
I mean-
I'm due one.
You do one? What are you going to go for?
Don't know. I'm gonna get in there and go vibe.
You know what frustrates me when I go to my barber? It's like, what do you want? It's like, it's pretty obvious what I fucking want. It's right there.
High
I just
and
want it
tight.
shorter.
Yeah.
Please.
That, but shorter.
It's like, I'm not going for anything crazy, bro. Just the same thing.
You're not a crazy guy.
You're not an
anymore.
adventurous
I don't know.
hairdress guy. You did have a
I've
mullet
got
when
a
you
bit of
played.
pizzazz in me.
You had a mullet when you played footy.
I did.
We're not talking about his old days.
No.
We're talking about now.
Oh, the old ball that's just given
Nah,
over
Do
to
you
you.
have panache anymore?
I got pizzazz.
Do you?
I've got a bit about me, trust me.
Do you got pizzazz still? I don't see a whole lot of pizzazz.
Look, that hair doesn't scream pizzazz. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's a missionary
nice.
of hair. We've been through this.
Yeah.
Missionary is underrated and doesn't get the respect it deserves. And that's the way I live my
I
life.
think you look sharp
You look
and
sharp.
smart.
Yeah, you look sharp.
But it doesn't scream panache.
Yeah, but
not-
that's
it's
only
not
because I think we
pizzazz.
have a different measuring bar of like pizzazz.
Clearly.
Like, for example, like I think missionary has a bit of pizzazz about it because
Right.
it gets the job done.
It does.
It's underrated. It's kind of like vanilla ice cream. A lot of people think that doesn't have
Well,
a bit
you've
of
been
about
saying
it.
that for a while as well. You've been
Well,
fucking-
missionary would be responsible for, like, you would assume most of the births,
And
most of the children.
Well, I want to actually, because
And isn't that
doggy, do you
pizzazz
reckon
as it
doggy
comes?
style kicked us off? Because that's the way like animals do it. Do you think we kicked off with doggy so you can fucking keep an eye on the savannah and bail if you need to?
Well,
Like,
it depends how far back you want to go.
humans fucking on the savannah,
Apparently
on the
that's
plains.
what premature ejaculation is like beaters, like trying to get a nut off before the alphas would come back.
No way.
Yeah, that's what they theorize.
Holy
Shit.
Just get that
So
quick
it was
nut
actually a
off.
genetic advantage.
To just get that quick nut off before
So
anyone
you're
caught
almost
you.
an alpha then because you're, reproducing
You're just banging them in.
and getting out of there, whereas an alpha's like, So who's the real alpha then?
that's a
You're
good
not
point.
reproducing, you die, you're gone. See you later, bro. You
Maybe
fucking
that's
don't
why
exist.
there's such a big market for like primo ejac meds these days, because all the beaters actually got through. You know what I mean? So now it's like the market's huge because the beaters fucking.
No
found
wonder
a
we've
way.
got it soft.
The beaters won.
No wonder we've gotten soft. 'Cause, yeah, the beaters
All
won the
these
war.
weak
The beaters won because
Beaters
they
found a way to
just
hack
get
the
off these
system,
nuts.
dude.
Bang, bang, bang.
Fucking hell.
Just one pump, job's done.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a movie, Beaters versus Alpha, and it's like a world war, but all the Betas versus all the Alphas?
Beaters versus Alphas. It's just about
I'd watch
popping
that
off
shit.
real-
A movie, a comedy movie, but dark humour of all the Betas
Alphas
versus
v
the Alphas.
beaters. Popping off.
Alphas versus beaters.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think doggy might be the
Well, if you go back far enough, it would have been, yeah.
well when it mattered.
Wouldn't
When
it
you
be-
weren't
when it
doing it in the
mattered?
safety of a home.
What's interesting is that if it goes back 100,000 years, let's just assume that predates, well, it wouldn't predate dogs, but why would it be called doggy style when it should really be called human style because we did it anyway?
I think maybe the term doggy style more of a
I think it's
recently coined
yeah.
term.
I don't think it was.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, why wasn't it already coined? Like, this is missionary. Why isn't it missionary? Because it's the first position.
Now you're starting to wrap me in a mental pretzel because I don't know.
Look, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to go back 200,000 years and just check in on our ancestors going, how are you,
What'd you
how are
call
you doing
this?
it?
Yeah.
What were you working with? How'd you like to get down? Who knows?
I just feel
I
like
reckon you walk into some of those setups, and I reckon you'd see all manner of thing going on.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
reckon.
it'd
they get
be-
wild
I
back
reckon.
then.
I don't reckon there's one
variety pack.
I reckon there's sharing. I think there's caring. I think
There's no civility back then.
There's up. There's down. There's all
They're just
around.
going for
They're
it.
just going for it.
And good on them.
Yeah, good. Absolutely good on them because now we exist.
I don't know what this means, but the only article I could find was that the first sexual intercourse was done in sideways square dance style.
So like
A
laying
lazy
down
doggy?
sideways.
So
yeah,
possibly
laying
like
down
a lazy
sideways.
doggy.
So what's a square dance?
I have no idea.
That sounds religious.
Yeah, that's weird.
I love
They're
you.
basing this off fossils as
Yeah,
well.
like,
Yeah.
Fossils.
fossils. So what
Yeah.
they died
What's
having
they
a
died
go.
rooting?
Yeah.
I tell you
Not
what,
a
it's
bad
one
way
way you want to go.
out. Yeah. Is that like Pompeii fossils or what are we
Jesus.
doing here?
No,
Yep.
it's,
Did someone at Pompeii die?
Yeah, I think he looks like he's having a Maz. I think it's unfortunate.
Jesus.
He's like, dude, he's literally frozen in like.
That's
Have you seen
unfortunate.
his-
And for the rest of eternity, you're the fucking guy that died like in that position. Poor bloke.
Anyway.
Poor bloke. Anyway,
You got a nut off.
he's a batter. He got up before the fucking love hit him. Whereas all the alpha were like, I can't go, I want to come before I die.
No,
the beta
and
was
they
like, bang.
Apparently, the male and female organs were a little different back then, so it made sex not as like a bit more difficult.
Wow.
That's going off this article, which I have
Wonder
no
he
idea. if it's
scissors so
legit.
much. He's sick.
Yeah, scissoring would be an easy one.
research.
Dude, look at him. No, he's not even. He's not looking any of that up. He's just got it all in his
Yeah,
brain.
he's like pretending to look at the screen.
Yeah, well, this is actually really interesting about male and female orgasms and the benefits of scissoring. All right, dude, relax.
Anyway, Michael Jordan doco would be great. You guys are the Michael Jordan of podcasting.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. Brought to you by Bloke in a Bar beer, but also Bloke jerseys. Next Monday, 6 p.m. Be there or be squared. Limited supply. Once they are gone, at the very minimum, we won't have them for another year because I tell you what, you guys would know about shipping at the moment. It is a nightmare getting stuff shipped over here.
It is.
A nightmare. So if you want Bloke jerseys, they're $99. I think that's quite reasonable.
Fucking oath, they're really good. They genuinely are.
They actually are high quality.
They're fucking good.
And I was when I put it on the first time, and I was like, I didn't even expect them to be this good.
No.
So
No, they're unreal.
they're great jerseys, guys. 6 p.m. Monday. Be there. Limited supply. Set your alarms now to make sure you don't miss out because people are going to be frothing over these bad boys. They're high quality, look mad. Everywhere I go, people compliment them. Also, join the Bloke Club so you get a text before they drop. Bloke.club, and they'll be dropped on www.bloke.shop. Also, brought to you by Bloke in a Bar Beer. 13 stores in the spotlight. Belrose Bayfields, Waihi Cellars Celebration, Australian Arms Hotel Penrith. It's on tap there. On tap out at Penrith. How good. Australian Arms Hotel. Steve's Liquor Group, all stores in Victoria. That is Steve's Liquor Group, all of the stores in Victoria. Porter's Liquor North Willoughby. IGA Express Piermont. IGA Ritchie's Cessnock, home of the Johns Brothers, the great Johns Brothers in Cessnock. Dicey's Liquor Warehouse, Gladstone. Star Liquor, Raceview, Ipswich. Full Moon Liquor Bar, Sandgate. Legends, Forest Hill, Wagga. Black Sheep's Bottle Shops, Brisbane. So all of Black Sheep Bottle Shops in Brisbane. And all Celebration Superstores in Queensland have Bloke featured in their catalogue. All Celebrations Superstores in Queensland. If it does really well, you know, guys, then that will put us in more stores. So get down to your local Superstore Celebrations, and it's in their catalogue, so I guarantee it's actually at a cheaper price than what we usually sell on special. You guys, merch drop. Do you know when it's happening?
No, just keep your eyes peeled.
Keep them peeled.
Nothing to report just yet. Just trying to wet your buttholes a little bit with these jumpers.
Oh, they're
you
wet.
know what I'm saying?
We're just wetting the butthole.
Just giving a couple of rimmies. You
Yeah,
know?
wetting the butthole, the pun and the dribbler. But put it this way. This month.
Coming
This month.
Wow.
Coming quick.
I tell you what,
Like the
hoodies.
beat.
Coming like a beater.
Yeah.
And
You're coming like a beater. Quick.
Okay. And I'll tell you what, the good thing about hoodies is you can buy that. It's lasting for ages.
Yeah.
Forever.
Oh, yeah.
I got a hoodie from 16 years ago that I still wear.
Really?
No, I'm just trying to
Yeah,
help
I was going to say, that's
trying to help you sell your merch.
Look, I wouldn't be trying to push a 16-year hoodie, but I'd be pushing it for now.
Look, I'm just trying to get bang for buck, chat.
Also,
The
just-
bloke community loves bang
Oh,
for buck.
you're going to get bang for buck.
Matty, don't stay on my camera, Matty. Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't stay on my camera.
Look at that.
I'm just doing something.
And it's charcoal too, so it's, you know, you get a bit of stains on it. Who cares? No one
And
can
it's
see.
versatile. You can
No,
pair
you can't
charcoal with
stain these.
any fucking colour you want.
They're
Can't
stain-proof.
stain these.
Charcoal,
Stain-proof.
the most versatile colour in the spectrum.
So, this month, keep your eyes peeled. Next Monday, 6 p.m. Bloke jerseys. Be there or be squared. Now, on to the news. Also, No Limit Boxing. The Gallen fight is next Wednesday, May the 11th.
We're going.
Gallen is back, and I tell you what, the guy he's fighting is an actual boxer, so it's not going to be a cakewalk for Gal. I'm being genuinely serious.
This is the Australian heavyweight title?
I think so.
Do your
But
own research. Think it is.
I will say the guy Ken Thrum is an actual boxer. This will not be a cakewalk. He's young as well, so it's not like he's fighting an aging boxer. Not to say that the people Gallen won against earlier were easy fights. I'm just saying that
Sounds like you were.
absolutely not. Matter of fact,
Sounds like disrespecting Gal.
the fights that Gal did take so early on in his boxing career are actually outrageous. Like for him, people don't understand. Boxers are professional boxers, so a guy that's trained his whole life wouldn't have fought the same standard that Gal has fought in his first 6 or 7 fights. And I outside of guys like a Harry Garside, he's also going to be on the card, isn't he? Yep. And then there's Nikita Zoo as well. Outside of the like tippity top that would just come out swinging, but usually they have to have crazy amateur careers. But Gal, for him to come in, usually the first 10 fights of any boxer's career is against, plumbers. Whereas Gal had a few first 2 fights, but outside of that, he's fought some fucking fair names. So watch that May 11th. That is next Wednesday. No limit. Put the best cards on. What do you got, Matty?
And yes, it is for the heavyweight title.
It is for the Australian heavyweight title.
It's Australasian.
Think about. I don't think Gal gets enough appreciation for what he's achieved.
He does.
Like this guy did everything in rugby league, and now is going on to fight for an Australian title. That's amazing.
It's very impressive.
Like, incredible. And he's doing it at, 38 years old?
Mm-hmm. He's old as shit.
I honestly believe he is one of the toughest athletes Australia has ever produced.
Yep.
Like, boom, put him right up there in the whatever convo you want to have.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I'm a big fan of Gal. He's also, he's carving out a nice media career as well.
Oh,
he's fucking open. He's honest as...
I love him on 100% footy.
Yeah,
so do
he's
I.
great.
Yeah.
He's great.
Because he says his opinion, but there's no, malice in it. You know what I mean?
He's just
like, I'm paid to have an opinion.
Yeah. It's like, this is what I think.
Yep.
There's no bullshit. I'm not trying to be an asshole to anyone. It's just how I feel.
Yeah.
He's also 40.
He's 40.
40.
Jesus Christ.
Respect to the
He
great
was
Gal.
basically playing when he was 38.
Could you imagine the difference in Gal's career if he was a Queenslander? Like, I know I'm not actually taking the piss. I'm saying, because he came through that 8-year run, he would have made that Queensland side.
Oh, yeah.
He would have been, probably one of the all-times.
Yeah.
But because he still is. But I'm talking about,
disrespecting New South Wales Royals here, bro.
We have to admit, if he came through in the 8 in a row as a Queenslander...
Well, he's better than any back row you guys had at that time or front row you had at that time. Better than all.
Better than all.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he did get that shield and he won a comp.
Yeah.
So he can go home happy.
He can go home happy.
I
And he's
understand
going to
that.
have the Australian title wrapped around his thick hips.
Did you see the yarn about Joey, Cam Smith and JT yarning on 100% footy?
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, this is fucking footy heaven.
I saw it and didn't see it. So that would be in podcast form. I can go back and just have a beat
did
you put up
a story?
Just quoted some of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically what happened was they were just talking about that dominant period, and then Thurston was like, I learnt more from Joey in that 2005 2 games or however many.
2. The last 2.
Yeah.
He wasn't there for the first game.
Did Thurston play for both? Yeah, Thurston played both.
Joey only played 2.
Yeah. And Thurston said, I learned more in those 2 games than I've ever learnt in my entire career from Joey, ripping and tearing. And then Joey was
we know
like...
the games.
And then Joey was like...
the game. Game 2. Greatest performance of all time.
And then Joey was like, I wish I came through during the dominant period of Queensland. I would have loved to play to you guys. And then Bracey said, he said, do you think it would have been as dominant, or would have it been as dominant? And Cam Smith said, if we're being honest, probably not. And Cam Smith said, I've never played against a player that has dominated a game the way he did game 2 Origin. And I'm just sitting there going, as a footy fan, but seeing the goats talk about that shit,
dude.
it's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Coming like a beater, dude.
Put that on a shirt. Come like a beta. That'll get heaps of chicks, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I come like a beta.
Yeah. Nice.
Dude, I really enjoy 100% footy, and I love
So
it
do
for
I.
the
I think it's
podcast.
great.
It's
I think it's
easy.
great.
I was listening to it again.
Nine's lineup of commentators in that is
It's stacked.
It's
so good.
It's fucking
Tippity top.
I mean, it's tippity top.
But shout out to 100% footy. And shout out to Gal.
Shout out to Gal. Shout out to Cam Smith. Shout out to Thurston, showing so much respect as Queensland do. And then we,
And
Shout out to Joey.
I'll give you the hot tip though, Denon.
Yeah.
There is no fucking way in the world that Gal would want to ever be a Queenslander. So you can imagine all you want, bro.
Imagine if he was
It's
a
not for him.
Queenslander. Why the fuck do you want to be that?
I understand that. I'm trying to
But he
give him a
doesn't want to
compliment.
be. a
Imagine
I
living a life
understand
without
that.
daylight savings. Why
I'm
the fuck
trying
would you want
to
waste
give
your
him a
time?
compliment.
Yeah, but
Didn't
he doesn't
sound
want
like
it.
It's
Wait, he's fine without it, dude. Just so you know, you can park that bullshit at the border.
okay. It's all right. I mean, look, you
Fucking
suffered a
disrespect-
traumatic.
you
Look, the last 20 years.
the fucking leader of the state.
Look, the last 15 years have been traumatic for you. I understand that you're triggered right now.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You're talking about last years.
What do you mean? We literally beat you with the worst
Turbo
side.
scored
That was
fucking-
that was 3 years
We
ago.
beat
No one
you
cared.
50 had COVID even happened then? Maybe.
That was the COVID year.
Yeah.
When it didn't count.
Didn't
It was the
count.
asterisk
The
year.
Mad Dog Monster came and ripped you in your asshole. Off a bender as well. Now, interesting. So Reece Walsh comes out and he puts all of the chatter to bed, saying that he is not leaving the New Zealand Warriors. He will be going back with them in 2023. This was really interesting because, like, sometimes you guys as well, when you consume media, it's like if there's enough noise, usually it's like there's a bit of truth to whatever's going on. Whereas it seems that I don't know whether things have changed or whatever, but it seems like there was no truth to this whatsoever.
This was just 100% mayo.
Yeah, it seems like that.
That should be an NRL show. 100% mayo. Where you just speculate on everything.
Pure speculation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea. I love it.
Yeah.
So with this though, what's interesting is that even that clause wasn't mentioned again.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, was that clause bullshit as well? And
Yeah.
this whole fucking thing from top to bottom is just a jar of mayo.
Which is it. As I said, most journos work off half information at the very least. Like, so for it to be pure mayo, it's
2
kinda
parts
like,
mayo,
wow.
1 part truth, or 1 part information.
Well, see, because Walsh has a player option in the 2024 year, so maybe that's the clause. Maybe they.
So
get
he's
their
more
wires
just like, I'm
crossed.
going back next year. The truth is in 2024, I'll be back.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting. It is interesting because, like, as I said, when it's like around everywhere, usually like, okay, well, if everyone is reporting on it, different sources, different journos, there's a tiny bit of truth. But Walsh was like very clear of like, it absolutely is not true. I am not going anywhere. I will be with the Warriors next year.
He said his manager and him hadn't even discussed it.
Yeah, so it must, like, we have to take him at his word, 100% mayo, which is crazy. So, look, that's a massive win for New Zealand Warriors. Like, he is so crucial to their game. He's such a throbber, young, hot boy. Your thoughts on him staying at Warriors next year?
Mate, thank fuck if you're a Warriors fan. You're like, Jesus Christ, we need a couple of wins here. And that's a big win. He's only going to get better and hotter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I like it. He stays there, develops his game, fucking keeps grinding. Maybe he gets a couple more rep jerseys. And then in a couple of years' time, he can sign that big boy contract if he's up to it.
I don't know whether it'll be good for his development. Do I know anything? No, I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing of what I speak. But is he better off learning under Nathan Brown and playing in a side that gets humped into the earth 70 to fucking 2 or whatever it was? Is that good for his development? Or is it better for someone with eyelashes that won't quit? We know they've never quit. Is it better for someone like that to come and, get the last remaining years of Wayne Bennett and get as much juice out of that old fucking man and try and grow as a player?
Do you reckon there's an eyelash clause that was the nail in the coffin?
In terms of getting him to stay with... Or are you saying if you go to the Dolphins, you're going to have to trim those eyelashes?
Yeah, well, Dolphins basically won't protect you. We're not insuring your eyebrows.
Yeah.
Well, that's fucking disgraceful if that's happened.
Like,
And that would be a real alarm bells ringing for me if I'm a Dolphins fan, if they exist yet.
well, I think all the Warriors would have had to say to Reece is just go, listen, if you stay with us, we'll get your eyelashes did every day.
And insured.
Yeah, and insured.
You got to insure those bad boys, because players will be going for them. Like, if you grab
What if someone ripped them out?
Yeah, like when they have long hair, it gets grabbed all the time. I've seen Reece Walsh's eyelashes get grabbed before.
Yeah. Well, that's why he's trying
I've
to
seen
grow.
blokes tackle him.
He's trying to grow the
He just
the ratty.
goes down with his eyelids
Yeah.
pulled out.
Yeah, that's why he's growing the ratty to try and, like when they say when you're riding a bike is to wear an ice cream thing on your hat and a face in the back so the magpies go for that.
Yeah.
That's what they
This
say.
is the ratty on the front so that people don't pull him by the eyelashes down into the ground.
Seriously, you can look up footage of him getting pulled like this to the ground.
Which, I mean, it's
I
kind of
actually
unfair.
feel like a
Referees
player.
should do
He was
something
like
about it.
held down a player, like ran past and was like, "Oh, I've got your eyelashes."
Yeah, you got
bro."
your eyelashes. They say as well, though, if you manage to pull one out and take it home with you, it's like 10 years good luck.
I've heard if you plant one, they'll
It'll grow.
Yeah, it'll grow.
Like a
Into
beanstalk.
an eyelash
a
tree.
4-leaf cleaver, that's the kind of luck.
Or
it
like a
has.
beanstalk.
And it just grows pure testosterone.
Yeah, and you eat it, and then you get hot.
Yeah.
You get hot. What's interesting about Walsh is that men do actually get hotter as they age. So that bloke's going to get hotter than he is now.
Well, you get a couple of bumps and bruises, a couple of scars. He'll eventually, hopefully,
grey.
develop the ability to grow some facial hair. And then
Doesn't need it yet though,
Absolutely doesn't.
because you don't want to hide
Well,
those.
he's twink now. He's in his twink phase.
But you don't want to hide the chiseledness,
No.
the jaw lines.
But when you're young
cheek
and you're
lines.
smooth and you're a twink, that's what you want. No body hair at all. And then as you get older and you start to appeal to adult women.
I think he appeals already. If I'm being
Well,
honest.
yes, but you know
I don't
what
think
I mean.
he just
though.
appeals to women, mate.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I think
true
he's
as
appealing to everyone.
He's a smooth,
Every man and his dog.
Smooth criminal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, smooth as they come. I wonder what his skincare routine is.
I don't think he's got one yet. I think it's all
All natural.
He doesn't
just
need
all
it.
natural oils.
Yeah, natural.
Yeah, natural oils. Okay.
It's a big wool pull.
But you got to be preventative though. You don't want to be starting to put it on
So
one.
like
I think he
maybe
puts on
Botox?
sunscreen.
Not Botox, but just a face care routine.
Dude, I'd be Dioring sunscreen. Just saying. Big sunscreen might be trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Take that as you will.
Yeah.
As you will.
What do you reckon? Do you like Reece hanging around?
Mate, I think it's great for the Warriors. I was.
Is it good for Reece?
Is it good for? Yeah. Look, is it? The thing is, like, it is good to be under Wayne, but he can be under Wayne 2024.
I'm not being disrespectful of Wayne, but Wayne's now an old man. Let's not just fucking...
I personally like it because it shows Reece Walsh the kind of character he has. The Warriors gave him his first opportunity. If he does have a clause to get out, if they do go back to New Zealand, he's chose to go back to New Zealand. I have a lot of respect for him that he's shown loyalty, I guess, to a degree, because Warriors did give him his crack. Like, people forget. The Broncos said to him, you are not ready for first grade. And he was like, I am ready for first grade. Warriors said, we believe you are. They took a risk. They took a massive risk. It's easy for us now to say, of course Reece Walsh is in first grade. They literally moved RTS onto the wing to give Reece Walsh a crack. And Walsh is repaying to it. Like, as I said, we don't know whether he had clauses in his contract or whatever, but I love that he's showing loyalty and going back to New Zealand with him.
I'm with you there. I just more mean, do you think it's ultimately the best move
He's got
for
so
him
long,
as
bro. He's got so long in his career. If Wayne only has 1 year left, he misses 1 year of development. Like, he can. There are a lot of other coaches that will be able to, bring the best out in Reece Walsh. I wouldn't be. I just think it sets him up in good stead, because I just like the things it says about him as a bloke. And I think he's got 10 years. Matter of fact, he's got 15 years left in his career. Like, he's a smaller frame, so you would think he's not going to be getting through shit work, so his body's not be getting banged up a lot. He's got plenty of time to come to Australia if he wants to. But as I said, the Warriors showed faith in him. I think it's fair play to him that he showed loyalty to the Warriors, and hopefully he can become a marquee player for them, because him in New Zealand, if they start going well, holy shit. When the New Zealand fans, if you're going well, are some of the best fans in the world. Like, literally, some of the best.
They started to pack out Mount Smart.
It's crazy. Mount Smart, when I was there, when I came, we started the year really well, and our trial match got more than the Auckland Blues start of the season round one. And we were packing out Mount Smart, and it is a great stadium play. I don't even know it's called Mount Smart anymore. So if Reece can go there and play really well, good on him. And as I said, he's got plenty of years to earn the big coin. He's got plenty of years to get coached by one of the better coaches. I really like it as a bloke. I think that good on him for sticking with the Warriors, because they showed faith in him. He's shown faith in them. And giving them an opportunity, because the good thing is, if he goes back to New Zealand, lives there for a year, they have a higher chance of signing him, because he could be like, oh, I like New Zealand. I like living in Auckland. Auckland's a beautiful place. It really is. The only bad thing is just the weather sometimes. It just rains all the time. But as a city, if you could take that city and put it like where it doesn't rain as much, it would be one of the better cities in Australia. It's a beautiful city. Great people. Food is beautiful. So I like it. I really like it, and I've got a lot of respect for Reece for. I also like how he handled it. He didn't allow it to continue on. He just come out and said, "No more noise. Talking about? No more bullshit. This is what's happening." And sometimes I wish, like, it's a hard thing, because you don't want to get in a situation where you're responding to every rumour that comes out, because then you're just playing defence. And that's a lot of the time, like some reporters, not all reporters, I think most reporters are actually good, but some reporters, that's what they want. They put a rumour out there, they want you to respond, because guess what? That gives them an extra story to go, oh, he's responded, and now you've entered the cycle of the story. So I think Reece has handled it perfectly. Good on him. Good on the Warriors as well. And that's, you know what, another thing, the Warriors stood by him when he got pinged for...
Omar.
Yeah, Omar, cleaning his shirts.
It's a bit Omar.
So, good on him.
Put the mayo away.
What I did find interesting, I'm not sure if this is connected at all, but basically, I forgot what the journal was, so apologies, but he was basically saying now the Dolphins might have a dig at Crichton, and I was like, that's really interesting timing. The same day Walsh comes out and says, I'm going back to Warriors, so Dolphins lose the option of getting him next year. It comes out that they may have a crack at Crichton. And again, I don't know if the two things are connected at all, but it is interesting, like the PR game that is being played.
But why wouldn't they have a crack at Crichton?
Oh.
When's Crichton coming off, though? 24? He wouldn't be off next year.
I think November 1st he can sign with somewhere else.
Right. But see, like, for me, hey, Dolphins, I don't give a fuck what you're doing in 2024. What are you doing next year?
Yeah, it's tough because you don't want to
fucking get your shit together. What are you doing next year?
The problem is, you can't blow your cap up for 1 year. You know.
No, but like you're starting a new club, and you want to hit the ground running to a degree. Like, why the fuck have you got your shit so poorly organised that you're looking at marquees for 2024?
Yeah.
You should be having a big dick there, ready to rock. Game one next year.
They've got a few solid dicks.
Denon, there is not a big dick there. There are some solidly, chubbed up dicks there, but there is not one that you would take home to mum and dad.
But it's not like that from lack of trying.
Right.
They've been trying to fucking sign a marquee for years. And now, unfortunately, they may have arrived in a position where they go, okay, well, if not next year, the year after. Like, that's just where they're
I'm saying that's it. I'm saying that, to me, doesn't seem good enough. If I'm the NRL, I'm like, what the fuck are you guys been doing?
What do you got?
Just confirming, Stephen Crichton you can talk November 1st. And it was, it says here David Riccio was the journo.
Riccio was the journo. Yeah. And again, Riccio is just saying they may have a crack at him, but there was no quote from the Dolphins saying they were. But it was interesting, the timing of it. Like the same day Reece pulls out. And basically Riccio was saying that Crichton would be a marquee signing. And that sounds crazy at first, but I tell you what, I actually think his best position is fullback. If I'm starting a new club, I would pay Crichton $700 to $800K to be my fullback.
Yeah, you could do much worse than having him in your goddamn side. He's great.
And he's marketable.
Might play Origin this year.
Yep.
We'll wait and see.
Really marketable, good sort as well, which always helps.
Doesn't hurt.
He'd look good in the red.
Doesn't hurt.
And when you got any doubt, you go hot.
Yeah.
I tell you what though, if they don't get Munster, it'll be. It's got to be put down as a failure.
Do you? I think were you shocked when I said 1.5 a few weeks ago?
I said 1.5.
Oh, okay. I think it must be someone else. But
everyone just trying to steal each other's fucking things here. Do you know what I mean?
But Sharon's Karen, you can have it if you want. You want to have it? You can have it.
Well, I've said 1.5.
Okay.
I said 1.10.
Well, I thought you guys were shocked at it. It must have been.
No, I wasn't shocked at it at all.
Who would have it been then?
I might have been shocked.
Kangaroo?
Maybe. No, I think me and Kangaroo were saying about 1.5. Anyway.
No, it was. Yeah, it was. It was the Monday show.
It was the Monday show?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that sounded outrageous a few weeks ago. I think as things have unfolded, we may see our first 1.5.
Do you think Braith and Asta's
nothing
just
outrageous
sitting there
about
just
it.
like dribbling?
That's good.
Not in a bad way, but just Braith must be getting horny going, oh yeah, another.
He's about to beta
Reece
come.
Walsh not coming?
I think
Dude.
in Braith, especially on NRL 360, he gives off the confidence of a man that knows he's got a big payday coming.
He's got a huge...
And shout out to him.
Fucking
mate,
big
good
fan
on
of
you.
Braith. Big fan of Braith.
I tell you what, he's been good on. I think he's been fantastic.
You can hear his
Yeah.
boner hitting the underside of the desk whenever the
he's
Munster
getting
chat
better.
comes up.
He's getting
getting
better.
better.
Yeah.
And what I love about him being there is he doesn't allow them to
Talk shit.
they can't staunch him.
No.
Because he'll just be like, boys,
I've honestly...
You can't staunch Braith.
I've watched
Braith,
more
boys.
NRL 360 this year than I
Braith's
have
a
in a long
thoroughbred.
time.
boys, I got Munster.
Oh, hey,
If you do
Munster.
those hands,
Yeah.
is that the most
And I'm
dominant thing you
also
can
a
do?
premiership winner and I played Origin.
Boys,
Yeah.
what is that like? What? Like,
Well, because it's like I am so unintimidated by you, I don't even need to use my full arms.
and lift your neck. So I'm even showing you my neck. That's how much I
Come
don't
on,
care.
come at me. What are you going to do?
Have a
I'm
fucking
fucking...
Won a comp,
Yeah.
I've
played
done more than
290 games.
Bit of a hot boy himself.
He's pretty hot.
bit of a
he's
hot
but
boy.
he's starting to
Plays off
Mature.
scratch and
He's
golf.
starting to get into his late 40s, 50s, and,
Yeah.
and everything's just thickening up a little bit or something. And he's just looking more and more like
Men get hotter.
More powerful. He's looking more
looking
powerful.
powerful.
Yeah, I like
Is
that.
how I would describe it.
because now that he's a player agent and he's on NRL 360, you could argue he's one of the most powerful people in rugby league right now.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of sway.
I tell you what, dangle that carrot, especially if they win the comp this year as well. He's like, mate, fuck.
Do you want another one? Who
Mate.
gives
Do
a
you
shit?
need another one, or do you start looking at those bickies, bro?
Mate, look at the bickies, I say. Get the bickies in your
It's Bicky
mouth.
season, dude.
Mate, Braith he's got those assortment of bickies at the moment.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
the
he's just got
assortment?
jars all over the house.
He'd also have a chance at winning potentially 2 more this year and next.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Well, no, I'd be trying to get Munster out at the end of this year.
But
If I'm
contract-
not-
no way
no,
the
but
Storm will let him go.
Why
I
would the
reckon.
Storm? Why would the Storm let go of a thoroughbred?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. If you're in the business of winning, wouldn't you want to just jag a couple
there's
more?
no way. There's no way. Which
Look,
is
I hear you.
Otherwise, he's playing against you.
I'm thinking as a fan, not a fan. If I'm a fan of the fish, I'm going, please get him out of his contract for next year. Because, This is going to look fucking ridiculous.
But the Storm wouldn't, I don't think. They'd be like, why would we do that?
What do we get out of it?
Why. I don't know what they get out of it. I'm not the one making these deals.
Well,
Braith
clearly,
is.
you're not a deal breaker.
I'm not a deal guy.
Well, yeah.
You know what I do?
You do some
I do
deals.
some deals.
You do some deals.
I don't enjoy it.
You do some deals.
I definitely do some deals. Not as many as Braith, but I do some. Do I enjoy it? Not really.
I hate negotiating.
I
shit.
hate it.
It's
I
just
hate
like, it's so gross. It's like, and you don't want to be a dick and like.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not trying to fuck you, but I am also trying to make sure you don't fuck me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like coming up against Braith in the war room. I think you'd have a bit about him.
Like, I don't want to give, like, you don't want, the idea of having someone manage that for you and take a clip is not worth it. So I'm like, I'll wear the negotiations, but I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Where someone in there for you can almost like speak about you, like, you know, speak for you in a way that I wouldn't feel comfortable speaking about.
Yeah.
Trying to, no.
Yeah, so big dog Braith, he's moving up in the world. Great bloke too. Actually dropped into the bar when I had it a while back. Good bloke, legend of bloke.
Oh yeah. Did you get his number?
Did I? I don't know.
You still got it?
But I tell you what, I was almost about to say, Braith, I need you to manage me. That's how good he was.
Was he even managing back then, or were you like giving him the idea to manage?
No, I just was like, I need to be managed.
That's what he had like that much about him.
That much about him, I was always like, I'm free agent at the moment, Braith.
I want to know what Searoo means, or does Searoo come from anything? Because I think there's a management company's called Searoo Sports or something.
I don't know. I mean, what is a mix between like a kangaroo that's in the sea?
Well,
like
potentially, but it also sounds like a jet ski.
Searoo.
Or is that Sea-Doo?
Yeah, we'll have to reach out, Braith. Let us know what Searoo means. But yeah, I mean, I was about to get managed. Like I was also on the dotted line, Braith. How much?
But then,
Let him manage all three of us.
We said I'd manage a bit higher than you, bro.
What if he manages the DMP? Not us individually, not Hello Sport and Bloke, but just DMP he manages.
Just DMP.
Yeah, and he takes a fuck all. Like, he doesn't take really anything.
He doesn't take it.
Are we negotiating with Braith without him here?
Yeah, well, I feel like that's a good deal because we'll just talk him up.
No, we're talking. He'll talk about us on NRL 360, obviously, and then we talk about him here.
Yeah.
And we'll just go back and forth
Yeah.
via shows.
Yeah. So our first offer is that
right.
you don't get paid.
Yep.
But you do it for the love of.
But we're lowballing you to meet you in the middle. So Braith, you put your offer out on the next NRL 360, and then we'll counter next.
Next week.
That's right.
But congratulations on the role. He's killing it. Perfect. SFS Turf War. A few days after South say they want to move to the new SFS next year, the Daily Telegraph are reporting that they will use their high-powered board members to stop South playing a home game there. So the Telegraph is saying that the Roosters will use their high-powered to stop South playing a home game there. Roosters claim they had an enormous input into new stadium, move games to the SCG and move their offices to Mountables. SCG Trust wants the Rabbitohs there. Wow, it's getting just the way we like it in rugby league.
This is spicy stuff because obviously the Trust want the Rabbitohs there because it's more cash.
Yep, cashola.
But you know, Politis and the like,
a little bit of power.
The Billy board members,
the Billy board members, they would have plenty of fucking say.
Is there any bigger dogs in the country?
The Trust?
Like they're the big dogs of the country.
Yeah,
exactly. And they'll be like, "Listen here, Trust, we're not having them here."
Yeah.
Just fucking next question.
Yeah, I can't see it happening now that I mean, when you're talking about the big dogs of the entire country, there's not much bigger than those guys.
No, it's them and then like Prime Minister.
Before the Rabbits went to the Olympic Stadium back in the day, what would that have been, like 99 or 2000 or something?
2005.
2005. Thank you, Matty.
Speak quick enough.
Before that, were they at Redfern Oval or were they at the SFS?
No, they went to Olympic Park in 2005. Before that, they were at the SFS, and before that, they were at Redfern Oval.
Okay.
So it's kind of coming back to the SFS. I'd actually like it. I think it'd be good.
It makes a lot more sense, obviously.
And at least they get some I tell you why they're probably doing it. It's because the Roosters fans don't go to any games. So the SCG Trust's like, hey, it'd be nice to have some fucking people here.
I will say I understand where the Roosters are coming from, though.
Fucking
like, massively. If I'm the Roosters, I'm going, no chance are they using a fucking stadium that we like put so much into. And you know what? I'm sure.
Did they spend any money on it though?
But I can only assume. But I assume the Roosters board had a lot of say in like getting everything cleared to go forward.
Here.
Well,
this is where we keep just cold hard cash.
Well, I mean, when
they have a cash room in there.
It's so like to get a stadium built, like you have to know the right people. There's like so much politics involved, and because that cash can be used somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I do think that the Roosters would have had a huge input as to
into the wining, dining, and 69ing.
Exactly. If Roosters aren't involved, that stadium probably doesn't get upgraded. Is that fair?
There's absolutely no fucking way in the world it gets upgraded. Do you reckon that Sydney FC and the Waratahs could have got that stadium built.
Do we think the
fucking
Sydney FC's coach and the Waratahs
There's no
coach,
way, bro.
of whose names can't just escape me at the moment?
There's no way. There's no way in the fucking world.
Yeah. It's
like without the Roosters there headlining the stadium, which is what it is. Nothing happens.
Selfishly, I want it to happen.
Same.
But I can also see the Rabbitohs and like, you know,
They've
Rusty,
also got
Rusty looking over there going, well, they didn't do ours up.
Yeah.
And you've got a brand spanker.
Yep, brand spanker.
And it's pretty fucking close to Redfern.
Rabbitohs have got some dicks to swing over there as well, right? They got that.
Let us in.
That Cannon Brooks. They got Rusty. Have they got Packer? What's he
Packer's,
doing?
yeah,
he might be a bit of a liability these days.
Well, I don't think Packer does a whole lot of. He's there. He's a name.
He's a name.
He's a strong name.
He's
too.
a name on the paper. You know what I mean?
He's the name that makes you go, I'm just going to, whatever you want, bruh. Big name.
But I think Politis would rather die than see this happen.
What's crazy is like I totally get like
Imagine Politis
what
out the front, just like in front of the Bulldogs, like fucking kill me, cunts.
I'm not going to let it happen.
I'm torn on this because I think for rugby league it would be great to have this rivalry just continue to just build and build and build. But I totally get where the Roosters are coming from. Like totally get where they're coming from. So I think the chances of it happening,
No.
I don't think so.
I'll say this though, as a really selfish person, the more games they play at the SFS, the more games that Manly will play at the SFS.
The more games that we will watch.
The more games that I get to go see live.
That's a good point.
In the eastern suburbs. Like, I don't go to ANZ. It's not my cup of tea. I don't like the experience. The precinct itself is too big and it feels like it's fucking abandoned. Like, it feels apocalyptic out there.
Yeah,
like,
it
where
does.
the fuck is everyone? Why can't I buy a beer? Then you get herded onto the trains at the end. Like, you got to get a cab and shit now just to get out there. I know I'm complaining, but
it's not a good experience.
It's not. Otherwise, like at the SCG, you can fucking nip into pub here, pub there. Like, you have a good time.
It's a horrible experience, not just a good one. It sucks. Again, if you live out there, maybe it's good. But I mean, even if you live out there, around it's still shit. Like, there's no life around.
Everyone says the same thing. They were like, in a perfect world, the Olympics would have been at Moore Park to start with. The stadium would already be updated. They would have already updated Parramatta Stadium. So there's one in the middle of the city. And then you go for fucking that.
Because that's it, right? The Parramatta Stadium as well. It's a precinct. There's shit around there. There's things to do. There's like...
What do you reckon people prefer to watch footy out in the West? At ANZ or at fucking...
Bank West.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
a no-brainer.
it's got Melbourne vibes as well in terms of the way that the MCG is just in the heart of the city and you can pair an evening with some football.
You know what I was thinking is like, how frustrating would be as someone that sponsors a stadium, but you're the second or third sponsor, and everyone keeps calling it the old name sponsor. So we ANZ
for so long.
I know, but it's a core, and like I think even Bank West changed.
West changed to CommBank Stadium now.
CommBank didn't know that. No. I didn't know that. And you're spending millions of dollars, and everyone keeps advertising the other brand that came before. It's a risky business.
And Brookvale was Lotto Land, which I refuse to call it, and now it is a rival beverage company, which I refuse to name. It is Brookvale Oval.
Brookie.
It's Brookie.
It's Brookie.
Yeah, Brookie. Very, very hard. Because I've thought about, like, would you ever consider sponsoring a stadium? Not that I'm in that position now, but maybe 10 or 15 years. Bloke Stadium would be hectic.
Blokevale Oval. You could sponsor Brookie.
I'm not sponsoring Brookie.
Okay, well, you would if the fuck.
You wouldn't call it Blokevale?
I mean, that is a great name.
It's a fucking great name.
It's pretty
That
good.
was just off the top
It
of the
rolls
dome.
off the tongue.
And we own that.
How much do you reckon it would cost me to make Scott Drinkwater change his name officially to Drink Bloke?
To Drink Bloke. Scotty Drink Bloke. Why don't you just
I think it'd cost you less than you think.
Yeah, it'd probably case of piss a week.
Oh, you give him a couple $100 a week. You know.
A merch voucher.
I reckon a bit of walking around money and a couple of cases.
Free cinema tickets or something, you know what I mean? Like case of beer, couple of movie tickets.
Event cinemas or something?
Yeah,
Gold
you get them
class.
on board.
Gold class.
Gold
Great.
class.
Gold class is great. Those Sundays.
I wouldn't give them all gold class because they are a bit exy. I'd give them just the general admissions and give them a couple of gold.
You wouldn't
class.
give him gold class to change his name to Drink Bloke?
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to help his bottom line here.
Yeah.
I'm saying get a couple
Money's
of cases
tight.
of Bloke, couple of gold classes. Yeah, we're not changing anything.
No, I'm with you. I understand.
Which one of you was the first one to say Drink Bloke?
Me.
I actually don't know if that's
It was
the
me.
case. I don't think it was.
Check the tape. Check the tape.
I don't
Check the tape. Check the tape. Check the tape. Check the tape. Check the tape.
When
Yeah, it was me.
When was the last time you actually checked the tape? Because like it's obviously not tape; it's digital now.
I'm still a VCR player. Love
Do you
it.
really?
Yeah, fuck yeah. I use it all the time.
That feeling of like, it's like pretty cool feeling.
You're a
I reckon.
liar.
Of course. Remember you used to have to you put in the one that cleaned it and you'd have to put the drops in?
Yep.
And then you put it in and you'd wind it through and it would like clean the whole setup.
Tell you what, or when you get a video from the video store.
Dusty and shit in there.
When you get a video from the video store and the pieces of shit hadn't rewound it, you're like...
No, if you didn't rewind it, you got $2.
Yeah.
Remember they used to check? This hasn't been rewound.
Yeah, but they also didn't check because you'd get one. Maybe it was like
they'd open it and go
WWF 1994, and you'd be like, "I've got to rewind this whole fucking thing."
Remember how long did it used to take? Do you reckon off the top of the dome?
Not
20
that long.
seconds.
No, probably like a minute or two.
I
reckon it
longer
took a
than
couple of minutes.
Yeah, I think it took a few minutes. If you were like an hour and a half video, it took a few minutes.
Yeah, it took a while.
Did it really?
Yeah,
and like the
think about it, because
it was
you can
fucking
see
good
you can
times.
see the plate it reversing.
You could see the image rewinding.
So yeah, at the very least, you're looking at it's an hour and a half. You're looking at like 10-minute rewind.
Think about fast forwarding even like a Netflix doco in the slowest possible speed. It still would take a while going through the whole thing.
No, you're dead right. You're dead right. I was thinking about this. When we moved away from VCRs, we literally lost the ability to tape shit.
So
like
true.
you could like tape shows and shit and you come back and watch them later. It wasn't until we got KO and Netflix, like they're not that old.
Well, you could record shit on Fox all the time. What are you talking about?
If you didn't have Fox, which most people didn't.
Which that stat shocked me. Get KO.
But it's crazy how much you don't realise that there's this quiet majority out there that still watches Freddy. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people watch Freddy. But even still, there was like Foxtel where you couldn't record on for ages.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's like that red button or something that you.
Yeah, you used to be able to. Well, you could set a reminder for shows, and then you could record them eventually.
And that was like a huge feature. But you're right though, like free-to-air TV, and that wasn't always in. And sometimes it would stuff up, and you'd be filthy. Like, oh shit, missed it.
You'd have to set the time and shit.
I tell you what's weird is like how far we've gone past the having to organise your life around a show's time start. Like to do that now. Someone says to me,
"Home and away, 7 p.m.
You have to be there at this time, otherwise you don't get to watch it." I'd be like, "All right, I'm just not watching it then." You know, I never have
to miss it, and I'll never see the episode again.
Yeah, never. But the only thing you watch is live sport. Really, that's the last bastion of.
What about before phones and shit? Where like you'd agree to meet someone, you like write them a letter, like meet me here.
Well, people
would showed up. You're like, fuck.
Well, it'd make it. I mean,
you'd have to be prompt all the time.
Mate, I was speaking to a bloke yesterday that flew from Australia to Israel for a business meeting, and the guy that he was supposed to meet that was from Australia called in sick when he got there. So had to fly back to Australia.
What, he couldn't fucking come in like a day later?
Spewing up everywhere. The flights were already booked. He was only going to be there for 24 hours, and he just couldn't come out and meet him, and had to fly back to Australia.
I mean, listen, when we're with like technology being what it is,
so
why the fuck didn't he just Zoom that guy?
Well, sometimes...
Must have been a high level big dick deal.
Look, I only work with big dicks.
You know about that.
Big
Click
dicks.
that up.
I only
work with big dicks.
Yeah.
I mean, except when I'm by myself.
You only take the big jobs. You only take the big jobs.
Anyway.
Beta coming.
South to play at the SCG.
But yeah, it's weird. Selfishly, I want it to happen, but I understand where Roosters and the board are coming from. Like, I would not... There's no way I would be letting my rival take my stadium that I've helped build.
Certainly not in the first couple of years.
No
I'd be
way.
like, you can come when the fucking hype dives down.
Yeah.
You're not getting it early.
Yeah.
No way.
When we win a prem there or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or a minor prem. Now, Croker returns. How good? Good old-fashioned country lad. First time I met...
yourself.
Sorry?
Much like yourself.
Much myself. I met... first time I met Toots was on the beers. I was blind, carried on like a fuckwit. But he still had time for me after it, so it wasn't too bad.
Nice. That's nice. Well, you were older than him, so like...
Yeah, I know, but like I was quite the
power dynamic was shifted.
No,
he was so pissed.
I was retired for years, and he was a big dog at the stage. So
he still commanded the room.
Well, he didn't command the room. He was actually very respectful and polite. Good old country lad. Good old fashioned country lad. But I was carrying on like a fuckwit. He didn't hate me after it, so thanks for that, Croaks.
That's nice.
What were you doing?
Just
high in your own supply a little bit. You thought you were a fucking...
A lot of chitty chatter. A lot of like... You know when you're just blind and you're just chatting shit, and
you're showing everyone your old highlights and that.
You're not. Look, I'm not showing Jared Croker my highlights. You go, oh yeah, sweet bro. He's fucking 2 hours of me killing it. Like, fuck.
I'd argue your highlights of that 10 minutes might be better than anything he's done in his career. That's no disrespect. He's done it for like a long period of time, but some of the shit
people don't appreciate. Croker has won so many matches for that club with crazy good plays.
Yeah.
Trust me,
it wasn't
he's
to sound disrespectful to Croker. I was actually kind of sucking you off a little bit there, but like that, you know,
I promise you, Croker has some good highlights.
chip kick from Lockyer. I know that was mainly him, but you did pick it up and like
Mainly.
you did sort of do something there. It was mainly Lockyer.
Thanks,
Siren
bro.
going.
Thanks, man. I think that might be the first compliment you've ever given me on the show.
Yeah, I'm taking it back.
Appreciate it. But yeah, the great Toots, Jared Croker, he's back. How good? I actually think the Raiders need him. The one thing that helps fading out of games is having experienced players to identify when you're fading out of games and know what to do when you're doing that. Frawley has also returned to the team. Jack Whiten yelled, "The skipper is back, boys," and the entire team piled on him, hugging, backslapping and face rubbing. Just a good old-fashioned blokes getting around other blokes and a bit of bum slapping.
I can guarantee you right now there would have been some bum slaps and some junk grabs, which I'm disappointed weren't.
Well, it's Matty. He wrote this.
Yeah.
He's
trying to keep it PC, but there was definitely... He'd have a bruised hog after that celebration.
Yeah.
Bruised but happy.
Oh, it'd be a smiling hog, but the hog knows it's alive.
I tell you what, there's nothing that will get a team back on top with a few glute slaps and some hog slapping.
Nothing.
Don't slap the hog too hard, though, please.
Yeah, you probably just want to grope it rather than slap it.
No slapping. Just gropes.
That's fucked. You know?
Don't sack wax. They're in a different spot than the Tigers. Tigers needed the sack wax.
Yes.
And it worked.
Didn't work second time.
Well,
They still played really well. They won 2 in a row.
Right, the second time didn't work.
Yeah, but they still played really well.
They lost to the Dragons, so they didn't.
You don't think they played well?
How do you know they were maybe they weren't sack wax?
That's what I'm saying. It didn't. Whatever the fuck they were trying.
But you're saying it didn't work, and I'm saying
the
sack wax always worked, bro.
We worked that out.
They didn't bring him back down though from the sky for the last.
And it's probably because they didn't sack whack him.
Might be.
Moral of the story is grope, don't slap a hog. If you want positive outcomes, well, it depends on the situation. We get bogged down.
Yeah,
we get
Jack Whiten's backed.
Whiten's backed.
Croker
Jack Whiten yelled, "The skipper's back."
Jack Whiten has backed Croker being back.
Yep. And Jack Whiten's out.
Jack Whiten's out.
Croker's back.
Croker's in. I think this is good for the Raiders.
Great for the Raiders.
Skip back.
Eddie's betting on the Raiders to win this week, punters.
Really?
So,
so it's a Croker bet. It's a Croker bet.
It's a Croker bet.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Croker's a vibe. The headgear will be out there doing his thing. I like that.
They were missing a headgear.
They were missing a headgear of consequence in the middle, mate.
Absolutely. Every team needs at least one bloke with a headgear on it.
Back the Dogs.
You back the Dogs.
But I've got Croker to score.
Well, you're a dog then.
You are a dog.
To Croker. I'm going to tell you
don't
that.
care.
Like one of the game's most beloved players, and you're going to bet against him.
Yep. I'm not betting against
You're betting
him.
specifically against Croker.
I'm betting he'll
score.
score.
If you cared about his career and him going forward,
then he'd score a fucking try.
They need to get the win.
No, he needs a try.
They need to get the win.
No, his career isn't defined by the team's success in this game. If he scores a try and looks good,
I think it is.
I think it
you
is.
don't know what you're talking about.
I think Ricky's Hail Mary going, Croaks, I need you back, baby. Need you to work some magic.
And he's going to score a try, and then the team's going to lose.
What about the Doggies, on the weekend? Could you imagine the controversy if they had have lost that game?
Well,
those calls that they got
because
tries?
I only saw the final.
Moments,
his fucking name?
minutes.
What's the final try that got denied?
Suwali?
Sorry, the Satili Suwali. Fuck. That should not have been a try long before his foot went out.
I know. It's crazy.
I was like, they're gonna fucking. Oh my god. I tell you what else I loved, because the Roosters are a good team, but they're also like, kind of the face of like. Not necessarily in a fair sense, but just they're like the face of like a team you like to hate because they're good.
They're a glamour club.
They're a glamour club, rugby league, exceptionalism, but also arrogance personified. And when they scored that try and all got in the fucking Aaron Shop's face, and then it was like, suck a dick, another try.
I will say, I'm sure Shop gave it as good as he got before that moment.
Oh, absolutely. But it was just like, oh, you got a bit lippy there, and the try wasn't awarded.
You know what I find is really interesting is how much, like, 2 years ago, Penrith, everyone loved them. Fuck yeah, the young boys, big throbbing dicks coming through, swinging them out there at Penrith. Fat Dick on the flank doing his thing. Cleary with the chin of consequence, winning premierships. But now it's almost like everyone's off Penrith. They're arrogant, they're this, that.
That's how it goes.
We were talking about that last week. It's just like, it's just tall poppy syndrome 101.
101.
That's all it is.
But you're happy to see a team on the come up, and then when they succeed, you're like, okay, well, you aren't my team, so now I hate you.
Yeah, don't be too good.
Don't be too good.
Don't
So
be
it's
too
like
good.
kind of like the Sharks a little bit.
Don't be too good.
Since they beat us, even though it's technically
I think everyone's
going in.
loving Sharks at the moment, no offense.
Yeah, no, but that's what we were saying. We love the Sharks,
okay.
but they beat us now. I'm like, fuck the Sharks a little bit. But like,
Yeah, but if they... It's funny, like if
still like
you
them.
do too well, then people hate you. But if you do well for like a long time, you'll get respect.
Yeah.
Though.
Like, I think Storm get
the Storm
grudging
are
respect.
respected.
that's yeah, you're right. I like the Storm.
Yeah, because you're like, you know what? They're just too fucking
They're just too good.
Yeah.
And you can't help but just go, it's impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Very impressive.
And it's annoying you beat my team by 50 every time, all that kind of stuff. What I will
Your
say
team.
Yeah,
We
how much
beat
they-
them by 40.
Didn't they? Was
We
it
beat them by
Rabbitohs or them that knocked you
40-0
out?
in a grand final.
Was it Rabbitohs or them that knocked you out last year?
Not by
Rabbitohs.
50. No one scored 50.
It was Rabbitohs.
But they beat you the week before, though, didn't they?
No, they didn't. We
No,
beat the
we beat
Roosters.
the Roosters week
Does this bloke know anything?
No, he
But
doesn't.
didn't they? You just played in the prelim though, didn't
Nah.
you?
No.
And didn't they tear you up?
No.
They absolutely did.
Piss off, Matty.
But yeah, back to the doggies. Did you see the other tries that were given?
No, but I heard there was some other.
Bro, there was like a clear knock, like not just a little, like he bobbled it, like a full-on knock on. They scored.
And they didn't review it?
They do it on a technicality, so they can pull up a play from a hole, like a what's the word, dangerous play or foul play from a set ago, but they can't pull up a try because once the ball is played, it's a new.
Oh, see, I think that's reasonable though. If the referee misses
But this was a clear knock on.
Yes, but what I mean is like if you knock on, the referee misses it, and then the play he gets tackled or whatever, and they play the ball, the thing goes on, they score on the next try or the next sort of play or whatever. That to me, so I'd hate it. It's like you kind of how far do you want him to be able to go back for that?
But he did drop it in the play.
He dropped it in the play ball that they scored. So that he played he knocked it on, played the ball, they scored.
See, that's not going back that far.
Well, no, it's not going back that far. But if he knocked it on and then played the ball, I get it technically. But it is very that's kind of finicky.
That's like everyone can see that he knocked on. Let's just call it a no try. And that wasn't the only one. There was another one. Was it on a forward pass? Yeah, and then they scored for forward pass and an obstruction.
Bro, the Joey Manu
probably
flick was as forward as it gets to
Mate,
I remember this cunt's name.
I honestly think
Suarez.
if the Dogs had have lost that game, I understand why the Dogs would have probably put an official complaint in.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that two tries like that. So I'm glad they did win it. What's by a centimetre?
Bees dick.
Literally.
But they did win. And good on
But
them.
the Roosters didn't score a legitimate point.
If you with all the things that it was basically like the Al Pacino speech in Any Given Sunday. It's a game of inches. Yeah. That's what Trent Barrett said. Do you reckon Barrett said that before?
No, I think Gould said it at training during the week.
Yeah.
The great Gus Gould. What were your thoughts on that, the whole drama of Gussie coming in and fucking...
No drama here.
Did we speak about this last week?
Yeah, we did.
I don't know if you did or not. He's got him cucked. It's cool. It worked.
It worked.
Mate, it worked. You know what? If Gus is there and it's helping, do it again.
Well, that's what I was trying to like...
Well, Brad was like... fucking Trent was like, mate, listen... if he's there,
if you've got him,
he's got something to offer.
Yeah,
you get him in for a fucking quick rever. He's not there coaching the side every day.
I just can't believe how it got out. How did the NRL 360 have a play-by-play that night of what happened in the meeting? What do you got?
I just checked the show notes. We did. You guys didn't speak about it together last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't.
Nah.
Well, I thought A, it clearly worked. B, it clearly shows that when Phil's involved, everyone's a cark. And the quicker that you get on with it and accept it, I think the easier your life will be.
Well, I mean, maybe there's a kink that Trent Barrett has, which is that he likes to watch his team get coached by another man while he sits on the sideline and just...
Yeah, and he's asked to insert beads. Maybe that's a reality.
I think it's smart.
Credit
I think
to
it's
him.
smart
Good
from
for him.
Barrett.
But that's what I mean. Of course it is. If you've got Gus Gould, and also the way he explained it kind of made sense to me. It's like, mate, you know what? Sometimes it's a bit fucking Groundhog Day with me coming out here talking the same shit. We're in a bit of a slump. It's like having someone like Gus, this big old, wise man coming in. Like, why wouldn't you just change it up a bit?
The only thing that I now that it's all unfolded and it sounds like it was something that actually happened, it's the only thing I have a concern of is how did that get so detailedly leaked to the media? That's your biggest problem.
There was photos and shit as well.
Yeah, but they were
was there reporters at training?
They were literally on a panel that night, in NRL 360, giving a play-by-play of what was said in the meeting.
So there'd be players or trainers or someone there who's
that was the biggest concern for me. I understand if Gus wants to come in. I believe it put more pressure on Barrett, if I'm being honest.
Fucking oath.
But I understand what Gus was trying to do. He was trying to protect Barrett to a degree because there was pressure building. But it's just the leaking of it. It's how does that happen? A team meeting? That's like this sanctuary.
And in the article, at least, they were saying that they were standing there watching Trent and Phil were having a yarn, and then Phil was like, "Oh, they looked a bit sluggish. They look a bit sluggish today." And so Trent gave him the whistle, as if to say, "You're not getting it done. I'm going to fucking do it." And he's like, "Well, fucking right."
But how do they know these details?
I know it's very specific, but then I was listening to Phil on 100% Footy on the way in, and he's basically just like, people just fucking write shit, whatever the fuck they want, so that I respond to them. Yeah. I'm never going to do that. So fuck the lot of you. So it's most likely complete bullshit. Well, and no one knows the truth. Like, yeah, he ran the session, but under what circumstances?
I did find it a little unfair from the way Gould reacted there, where he was like, where Gus reacted, where he was like, I'm not going to respond to it at all because I don't want to like give the journos who are writing this shit any airtime. But I feel like there's almost an obligation to, on behalf of your coach, respond or at least explain, because he looks like he's just been cucked by the boss. So I get why he doesn't want to talk, he doesn't want to give airtime, but you've kind of been found out because you did do it. And even if it was not what it's being reported as, that's how it looks. So you are putting pressure on Barrett whether you mean to or not.
It's a tough one because I know what you're saying, but then it's also like, but then that just creates even more stories.
Yeah, I know.
And puts more pressure on Barrett. It's a real tough one.
Because then everyone's talking about it.
That's why
they're talking about it anyway.
That's why my point is like, I think the concern is the leak. Like who got that out there? Find whoever got that out there.
Disgruntled players. That's what you look for, right? Disgruntled players.
Play-by-players, not only in the meeting, but out in the field. But interesting. You know what? The best thing is for the doggies, they fucking ripped and teared and they won.
Yep.
So, good stuff. Good stuff.
Love it.
Now, Wayne claps back at Melbourne. The NRL haven't told us we've broken any rules, so we will continue doing what we're doing. I'm not unconfident of signing Munster, but we are still in the process of talking to Melbourne and finding out what his future is there. We've kind of already gone across the Munster situation.
Yes.
I like the choice of words there. I'm not unconfident.
Thank you, Eddie. Give me some.
I'm not unconfident.
Yeah.
I'm not confident.
I'm not. I like that. Yeah. I say I'm not a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not unconfident. I'm not confident.
Yeah.
Am I just basically saying nothing? Yes.
Am I unconfident? No. Am I confident? Not at all.
But it's better than
not. But I'm
not
sort of
not confident though.
I'm not.
I can promise you this. I'm not confident.
But I'm not unconfident either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's genius.
It's better than saying I'm not, and then just continuing the sentence.
Well, it just fluffs it up a bit.
Yeah.
It just makes it a bit harder to understand.
So they both mean the same thing. Like you could go, I'm not, and then continue the sentence. But
like I'm going for Munster. You know that I'm going for him confidently. But am I confident of getting him? No. But am I unconfident of him?
No, I'm not. I couldn't be unconfident. Not based on what I'm saying and what we're prepared to offer.
And not while I'm confidently approaching.
But I'm not confident.
You know what? This is a master negotiator.
Yeah.
Master negotiator.
Well, it's genius. It's genius.
Now, a bit of talk this week of the Grand Final. Should be shared with Queensland if it should be played in different locations like the Super Bowl. Wayne Bennett said it should stay in Sydney. Where do you guys stand on this?
Even the fucking preeminent Queensland coach of all time is like, shut the fuck up. Keep it in Sydney.
Look, Sydney's got the biggest stadium by quite a margin, so there's that.
It's like New South Wales best state, nicest. There's all that sort of shit. Queensland's a bit sort of like, do they even really get rugby league? Where the jury's out on that.
I'll say this, though, like
tradition.
They move an origin every year, which I don't hate when they move the origin. Like I can see where they're coming from with moving it around and government's tendering, and you'd actually probably the NRL would actually most likely make more money because you get places like Queensland and South Australia and fucking Western Australia just going into the government coffers, coughing up.
I guess the thing that would make it cool would be. Like,
I don't hate it.
Would be like bouncing around it. You go, oh shit, we're all going, boys trip to bloody.
Mate, I honestly don't hate it. I think it's a bit of fun.
My issue with Sydney is I just feel like they've got a bit complacent with having it. Now, look at the fanfare, and when you go to Brisbane for Magic Round, the whole city's alive. Like the government gets behind it and really like invests into it. When you go into the city in Brisbane, you cannot miss the fact that it's Magic Round. It's like a carnival.
Yep.
Whereas when it's Grand Final week, does the Sydney city? Do you really feel it?
No, and also because it's out in fucking ANZ Stadium, that it's just like.
Which is that best for the game?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't hate moving it around.
The more I'm hearing it, I actually fucking hate Accor Stadium so much. Not Accor the brand, not an ad, but like that. I actually hate the idea of the Grand Final. Like I don't want to go to a Grand Final in Western out at fucking Accor Stadium.
Mate, I think they need to just take it down.
But you've only got a couple of options, really, though, right? You've got Suncorp.
We got
Optus,
New Zealand.
No. Mate, if they start moving them around, they'll take one to Adelaide. They'll take one to.
But that's
Perth.
what I'm saying. So, but that's like in America, you've got fuckloads of options of like all around the country.
I think you've got a fair few options.
You've got
AC Canberra.
Canberra, what fucking stadium are you using in Canberra?
Nah, it's not big enough.
You got to go to the stadium.
There is a bigger stadium than the Raiders one.
No,
You could
go.
I don't think it's big enough.
Nah,
how much are we talking here?
I think it only holds about 20. Maybe
20,000?
Maybe less.
You could go in a 5-year rotation.
Yeah.
Sydney, Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide.
But then you're not really making money off it,
Brisbane,
are you?
Perth, and
New Zealand? I reckon New Zealand would
Yeah,
work.
maybe. But
and
then,
Eden Park.
But
Yeah,
then is it
Eden
not
Park.
about tendering and making money because it's on a rotation? It's like, oh, well, now we're back to Perth.
You could do a 5-year rotating tender.
And so you just got to pay
Like,
X amount
As
for
in,
it?
you bid for the 5 years, everyone locks in their year, and then you start bidding for the
Like
next
what
5
they've
years.
done for Origin, where it's
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I just think that Sydney needs to make, like, it's grand final week. Let's make the city alive with grand final week. Like, Magic Round, as I said, when you go up there, have you been to Magic Round, Matt?
No, but I've been to Suncorp a billion times for Origin.
Okay, have you been to Magic Round?
No.
No, not Magic.
Well,
Round
leave in the
specifically.
comments section. Actually, also, we'll give a free case away. Predict your man of the match this week. Your man of the round this week, and we'll give away a case of beer to your prediction. If you're listening to this audio, go to the YouTube, subscribe, and then leave your comment. Actually, everyone subscribe to the YouTube.
Yeah, and also send Denon DM requests of just like, can I have a free case?
Don't do that.
That's at
get
Denon
blocked.
Kemp on Instagram. And
You run the
like,
risk, bro. You want to send it, you get blocked.
Well, that is a risk, but I think it's the one maybe we're going to take. Bloke's that good. That's how good the beer is.
But walking down Queen Street on Origin, there's a huge difference between Sydney and Brisbane. Brisbane, it's maroon everywhere.
Mate, I'm telling you, Magic Round, when you go up there, and you guys are still working it out.
We are going.
You
We're
are
just
going?
trying to- yeah, we'll be up there in
Okay.
some capacity.
Well, yeah, I'm doing an appearance, most likely at the same place I did last year, but we will confirm. So if you want to come say hi, I will be most likely at the Caxton, but that's yet to be confirmed. But I will be up in Brisbane about 95%.
And we would
likely.
most likely be with you.
And also
Yes.
the boys will be with you. I just didn't want to lock you into it.
No, that's fine.
Because that's shit by me if I go.
No,
the boys will be
look,
there and you're like, oh,
there's
fuck,
a
we can't
very
go.
good chance that you will see two dashing,
2.
follically gifted gentlemen.
1 or 3.
Well, no, because you're already there. Like, we're with you.
But you said you'll
Put it
see
this way,
2.
the DMP will be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The DMP will be there. We just locked it in. We've locked it in.
There you go. See you there.
And it's, to be honest, it's just seriously a way to say thank you for all the support and shake your hand and say thank you. I'm going to be giving away, I'm not sure if you guys will, but we're giving away a bunch of Bloke shirts, Bloke hats, Bloke stubby coolers, everything. So
We won't be because it's coming like a beater.
We won't have any left.
No.
yeah, but I mean, look, you're part of the Bloke family.
We are.
So you're
But
giving away too.
We'll give out hugs and kisses and shit.
Hugs and kisses.
Rimmies from Eddie.
Yeah. Well, I could twist. I get my arm twisted.
Yet to confirm, but it most likely will be between 1 and 3 p.m. I think on the Saturday at Caxton Hotel in the upstairs room. But we have to confirm that, guys. But if it does happen, that's where it's going to be happening. If it doesn't happen, if we can't get that room, it's probably not going to happen at all. So the Caxton Hotel, between 1 and 3, we will confirm next week.
But if it does happen, it'll be there or maybe not there and somewhere else. But like it probably will happen, but it might not.
Probably won't be at somewhere else though.
But like, might be. Fuck, who knows?
Okay. Sweet. Okay. Might be at somewhere else, guys. Might be somewhere else.
But might not be. Probably won't be.
Probably
Well, it
won't
just
be.
depends really. But I mean, fuck, who knows?
But yeah, Magic Round, it is like you can feel it. When you go to the city, it's exciting. Caxton Street is off its head. In the city, there's posters everywhere. There's
Are you going to be up Friday?
I don't know what I'm going to do because it's a big weekend.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going up. I've got some business to attend to that I may have to go up earlier.
But you'll be up there for Friday?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm still
Manly
deciding.
Broncos, dude.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, are you going up Friday?
I got
am.
a wedding.
You've got a wedding.
Saturday.
Well, surprised this motherfucker's been to more weddings than Catherine Hyde.
A good mate's wedding.
And what,
Very
we go
good
watch?
mate's
We go watch it at Suncorp.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Will we get pizzled though by like everyone?
Potentially. Listen.
I mean, what do you think?
yeah. Well,
I think there's a
you
pretty
might
good
get less
chance.
pizzled than me if it's fucking in Brisbane territory.
Yeah, actually, good stuff. And just let you know, I'm not protecting him. So if you want to fight him, do it.
Don't do it. Father of two.
No, I lie. I am protecting him. So if you want to get grounded and pounded, have a crack at
There
Tom.
you go. Now, what now?
Why can't you cancel the wedding, bro? Like, what's the go with that?
What, cancel his wedding?
Yeah.
And just go, mate, move it?
I think you
Manly's
should.
playing Brisbane.
Manly's playing Brisbane at Brisbane.
Well, it was originally moved, and then and I was like, that's good. And then he moved it back, and I'm like, fuck you.
Oh no, he honey dicked you.
Yeah.
He beta cummed you. You came and then you're like, oh shit, I come too early.
But look, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Live and learn.
He'll be up Saturday, bright and early, hung as fuck.
I'm probably gonna get a car, I reckon, just to pick me up. So I just roll into it.
Oh, I think not to drive up there. I was like, what is wrong with you?
Fuck would I do that?
No, yeah, get a car. Get a limo.
Maybe Neon.
Yeah, look,
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I think, Sydney's situation, I like that the stadium is massive. I like that they can sell more tickets. That makes more money. But I just think that Sydney probably needs to do more when it comes to the festivities of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Festivities need to be more. But I don't mind the travelling nature of it because then it can have a very festival nature. Like, the grand final's going to be here. You might actually attract people that don't watch rugby league because it's more festive in nature, like the Super Bowl to a degree.
Well, I think by moving it, I think you invite that carnival atmosphere.
Yes.
I think it's all part of it.
Yeah.
Now, you could sell me one way or the other. You really could.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. I think Sydney needs to
Up their game. What about Magic Round? How good that's become? Like how great that has become of a concept?
Is that Vlandis again?
No, it was Greenberg.
It was Greenberg.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
It's a great idea. Yeah.
When it first came on, I was like, I don't know about this. Like, who cares if they're playing all at one place? And also, I was like, a lot of footy players are going to get in trouble doing bad shit on the drink. But they've been pretty good.
They have been.
So far.
No controversies in Bris Vegas. Now, Freddy has confirmed Teddy will be New South Wales fullback. I don't understand why people even entertain this. Like, I know...
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
He's the captain.
And he kills it every year.
I do think that there is something about
madness.
And I mean, like
Every year.
and like rugby league, not like dead shits like myself. I think that there can sometimes you can not appreciate the things that Tedesco's doing potentially because you've got Pappy or Turbo doing like super hyper,
Crazy.
ultra flashy, crazy shit.
Yeah.
And Teddy does fantastic things, but they aren't necessarily the things that will get a dumbass hard.
Yeah.
And so I feel like sometimes that's when you have those conversations, or you have people coming out there going, fucking, he shouldn't be the fullback. It's like, bro, he's been like our best player for the last 5 years, 3
Mate,
years.
he literally hasn't put a foot wrong.
And he's still
Never.
ripping and tearing for the Roosters.
He's the fucking... exactly. He is unfucking believable.
And you could take his Origin games, every single one, compare them to any Origin grade, and it would at least be comparable to their consistency.
Mate,
you know what I mean?
It's just laughable. Like, Pap's had a great season, yeah, but to imply that he should win the number 1 jersey off the skipper when we've won the last 2 Origin series because he's had 7 good games is fucking
the
ridiculous.
The last thing, Eddie, that you or I or anyone from New South Wales wants is to ever again see a New South Welshman captain from the bench.
We just look. That was as low as we ever.
That was
went.
the low point, and it
that's
wasn't Kurt
we're
Gidley's
not
fault.
bagging Kurt.
Gidley's he was a fucking phenomenal player for Australia, New South Wales, Newcastle, but to captain from the bench,
it's not what our state's about.
It's not what we're about.
And we learned a valuable lesson that night.
I didn't think we needed to learn that one.
That's
either.
a weird lesson to
It's
learn.
a weird one to be made to learn.
Look, put it this way, Tom. If you're made to learn that lesson,
You need to
make
learn
sure
it.
you fucking learnt it. Because if we were to go back there, good Lord. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Look, Teddy will lift his 3rd shield in a row. We all know that. He'll do it playing 1. He'll dominate once again.
Paps off the bench.
And
Paps off the bench.
But what about hot boy Hines?
Well, you know,
Hines misses out. Sorry,
You reckon?
dude.
No,
Yes.
hang on.
Really?
Over Pappenhausen?
But like, where do you play Pappenhausen?
It has to be 14.
No, but it's when he comes on.
I think Nico's more versatile.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
A bigger body, the frame, and I think
Can you leave Pappenhausen out
that's
of it?
what I mean.
Yeah,
I don't know
fucking
how you do
can.
it. I honestly don't.
if it's Nico.
I just think that Pappy can still come in and just do a little bit of Tommy Turbo. I'm a 0.
but
And I
like he'll have to tackle in the middle then.
he can fucking tackle. He's a footballer.
Yeah,
that
but
kid.
he's a smaller frame. I honestly don't know what the answer is because I think Pappenhausen has been so incredible for 2 years now at the start of the year. He would arguably be one of the most formed players to ever miss selection 2 years in a row. Like, his form is incredible, and he can't do any more. He could not play any better to play Origin. He's just in the unfortunate situation of the captain is the full, like, in his position. And also, Hines is arguably the form player of the competition. At least in the top 5.
And perhaps not a classic rover, 0.
Yeah. Whereas Hines could play 6, 7, fullback, centre to a degree, wing if he had to, I'd say.
He could do a job on the wing. He could do a job.
So it's tough, man. The good thing is this: when you've got this kind of competition for spots, you're in a good space.
It's very concerning for Queensland.
It is.
Very, very concerning.
Just a random fact about Paps. He's got the most points of anyone after round 8 in 71 years.
It's crazy. He's incredible. Like, amazing what he is doing and the way he's playing.
Look, I don't hate him.
Could have used a Pappenhausen try on the weekend, just quietly. Just as a side note, not blaming him, just talking about gambling responsibly.
We've actually
Pap also offers another goal kicker.
That's a good point. Look, do you know what? You can't go wrong.
Hines goal kicks, doesn't he?
Oh, he does.
Yeah, he does.
I
think you can't go wrong either way. I think they're both going to do a job.
And
Paps wouldn't let you down.
No, he wouldn't let us down. But it's great, as we say, great spot to be.
Hot off the press. So the great rugby league guru has just messaged me, and he goes, was just at a cafe, went up to pay, and fella said, all good, the guy at the back table already paid it for you. Walked down to the back table to say, thanks, expecting a mate. It was Ronald Volkman, rookie.
Oh.
What a good bloke, Volkman. The rookie that's just signed with the Warriors for 3 years. I think we were discussing it a few weeks ago. Paying for the great Garino's coffee.
Class act.
That's
classy picking up the ruse
That's
coffee.
classy as it
But
gets.
that's classy just being a young kid going, wait, I got that guy's tab.
It's a bit of BDE.
Dude, it's huge.
Huge BDE. HBE. HBD.
Huge, big dick energy.
Yeah. That kid's not coming early.
No. If you're coming early, you're not coming late.
You want to be coming late rather than early.
So, mate, what a bloke. I tell you what, he's going to be an immortal, I think. Volkman.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
No, he is, in all seriousness, he is a great signing for the Warriors because you're getting him as a youngster. They can plan for the future for him, and he is a throbber. In the trials, he was one of their better halves.
Good time to bring up that apparently Souths are going to sign Cody Nikorima. That's just hot off the press as well.
Really?
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That just got tweeted by Katie Brown.
Do they need Nikorima?
Well, I mean, if Walker's out or Ilias is out,
okay, I see that. Yeah, fair. So they've got Ilias there. They've also got Momazaros. What's his name?
Yeah, but he's a hooker.
He's a hooker. But there's another guy that's underneath that's a 7 as well, isn't it?
I get. Oh,
Taff also plays in halves.
Taff. I can't think of any others.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But back to Volkman. He's with the Roosters. Absolute gun. Great bloke too. Almost like a Milford-esque kind of player. Super strong. Great ball playing. Fast as anything. Good footwork. So what a bloke. What a legend of a bloke. Now on to. I just want to talk quickly. Serrano versus Taylor. Did you get a chance to see?
I saw the final.
I've seen highlights.
30 seconds of the fight.
It was one of the greatest fights I've ever seen in my life.
I wouldn't mind going and watching it.
So trust me, go and watch it because it's 10 2-minute rounds. So it's quick. This every round is exciting. There's no boring
balls to the wall. Going
it is. It was like I watched highlights of women's boxing before, as in their highlights, and I was like, I don't know if I'll be that interested. I don't know who they are. I know who they are vaguely, but I was like, you know what? When it was about to come on, nothing else to watch. I watched it, and I was so wrong. These girls went absolutely to war to the point where the last minute of the round, the last 30 seconds of the last round, round 10, they literally stood there and just started swinging at each other for 30 seconds straight, and that's not exaggerating.
Wobbling and it was
crazy,
it was
incredible. One of the great fights. Do yourself a favor, guys. Go to DAZN on YouTube. You can watch the long highlights. It is a friggin' incredible fight. UFC this week. We've got We've got Gaethje versus Oliveira. Who have you boys got?
Gaethje, round 2, knockout.
Yep.
Man, this is a tough one. I'm probably going to go Oliveira.
You are?
Yeah, I think if he can last that first 2 rounds of Gaethje, just incredible power and aggression, I just think that his fitness may be a bit too much for Gaethje. So if Gaethje wins, it's in the first 2 rounds. If Oliveira wins, I think it's either a points decision or he submits him round 4 or 5.
He can get hit, Oliveira. And not that necessarily means that he will get hit, but he can engage. He can fucking hit.
Well, look what he did. Look at the pace he put on Poirier. And didn't Dustin beat Gaethje?
I think he might have. The thing with Dustin, man, you felt like Dustin just was all over fucking Oliveira in that fight. He fucked that up. I feel like he fucked that up.
He gassed,
was like,
though.
he gasped, but he was like, he gasped, but it was like he didn't. Again, what do I know? Boxed it on Clovelly Beach a couple times, have you? But it just seemed like he gassed unnecessarily, like he was landing. He didn't need to, but it seemed like he was.
But I think
he was so close to that fucking.
I think Oliveira forced that though.
Wigged it. But he dropped Oliveira like fucking a couple of times and had him hurt.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He doesn't need to keep, but the problem is if Oliveira keeps walking forward and Dustin doesn't throw, he's not going to be able to keep him off him.
Yes.
And so the only reason why Dustin is throwing all the time is to create space and stop Oliveira from marching forward.
That's something you don't even think about, but like your opponent just constantly walking at you, even despite you bashing them.
And the only way, aside from constantly moving back quickly and potentially getting clipped, but also it's much more fatiguing to move backwards.
But Gagey comes forward as well, right? So it will be interesting those early rounds. If Oliveira is coming forward and Gagey's, it's going to be...
Yeah. That's why I think there is a chance of a knockout from Gagey because they're both going to
And then how do you see Oliveira winning?
By submission.
But Gagey can wrestle as well, so it's sort of...
I just think that Gagey might gas because of the pace that is set by Oliveira, like the Dustin Poirier situation. And I just think that if Oliveira can withstand those first 2 rounds of power, the pace will be too much for Gagey to handle, and eventually he'll just not crumble, but...
I'm horny for the fight. Unfortunately, it's on Mother's Day, which is going to make me have to duck off for a shit.
We'll get your work done early in the morning.
It's a day, Edward. It's a day.
It will just totally,
Bruh, you just
do the niceties early.
Do the niceties in the morning.
You know what happens now that I've got a wife with children is I've basically got 3 mums. I've got her mum, I got my mum, and I got her.
Maybe, why don't you say, can we start this at 3 in the morning?
Why don't you start at first light when the birds are chirping?
Or just midnight.
Yeah, start at midnight, go till... that's a whole day.
Go till 5.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's a whole day.
Sleep for a couple of hours. And then I'm ready to rock.
Boom.
I'll run it by her. I'll see
Why
how
don't
she
you
goes.
get them up early and then suggest a nap at around 2:30, 3 o'clock?
Because then I've got the children.
No, you're all having naps.
Everyone have a nap.
Except you.
Yeah,
Nap time.
so there's a sleep schedule for
But
the
you
babies.
pretend you're having a nap, but you're not.
And you could watch with one eye.
Now listen, there's that, or I go for a 25-minute shit around the fight. That's way easier. Ooh, lunch was good. Might have to go to the bathroom.
Make noises.
Come out with the reddest knees you've ever seen.
And they're all tingling and shit.
Lost feeling in your legs.
Canelo, he fights, apologies, I forgot the guy's name, but he's fighting up quite a few divisions.
Is it heavyweight?
It's incredible. Canelo is wild.
Can you check if he's fighting heavyweight?
If he wins this fight, he'd have to go down as a pound for pound, nearly all-timer.
I don't know enough to be able to speak with any authority on that, but I know he's fucking incredible. And I know he's fighting across many different weight divisions.
So I'm definitely going to be watching that.
But he's got a title at light heavy, right?
I think
Pretty
so.
sure that's the last one he had.
Yeah, it's incredible what he's doing. The guys he's fighting are beasts compared to him. So much bigger. So hopefully he gets a win because I love riding that Canelo hype train. And also he's just started to learn a bit of English, so he's getting real lippy and it's great. It's great.
Getting more marketable.
Now,
I was watching those old hype videos when he was fighting Mayweather and shit. Didn't know a lick.
Yeah. Now
light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight.
He says at light heavyweight.
Still hectic.
And he would have fought at fucking welterweight or something. I think 155 pounds.
Well, bro, he fought Mayweather.
The opponent is Bivol. Bivol?
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 Bivol. What pound weight are they at the moment?
If you fight Mayweather, who's a tiny motherfucker, and then you're fighting at light heavyweight.
150 is it? About that? I think he drained Canelo down to about 152, but that's do your own research there. As the jumper suggests.
That's it. Leslie.
Okay, now on to the games. We have Rabbitohs versus Broncos. Tass keeps his spot in the centres. Knight returns to the bench. Haas and Cape well out, but Carrigan returns. How do you see this game going?
I don't like that Haas and Cable are out.
No.
I think that's highly concerning for the Broncos.
Yes.
Highly concerning. Highly concerning for the Bronx.
We showed grit and determination last week without
I
them.
can't see you guys going back-to-back wins.
No, you guys aren't a back-to-back win side, really.
Didn't we beat the Bulldogs and then beat... Didn't we have it?
Don't look into it too much. I wouldn't look into it too much. Just go with what we're saying. Not back to...
Round 1 and 2. Round 1 and 2.
No. This time of the season,
Rounds 1 and 2 don't
count. At this time of the season, I don't think you've got back-to-back in you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying. And Haas and Cable are out. Good luck.
Good luck. Rabbitohs
We
to win.
literally
But the Rabbitohs
just
aren't
had
that good.
back-to-back wins.
Boo.
No.
Rabbitohs.
We're going on. This will be 3 on the trot.
At this time in the season.
Well, then you're definitely not going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
We just had back-to-back wins.
Well,
But
you're
at this
not gonna
time of
win
the
this.
season, you're not going to get back-to-back wins.
You're not getting 3 wins in a row at this stage of the
Mate,
season.
the Broncos
way.
are looking real
The only
good.
reason I give you a chance and I don't give you any is because the Rabbitohs basically lost to Manly on the weekend. We were down one player. Obviously, we were robbed. Daylight robbery.
What do you say to the fact that you guys got towed up by the Sharkies and then we came out and fucking dushed them? What's your rugby league math there?
But what do you mean?
We don't want to be
beat the Sharks.
mean-spirited.
We actually touched
We
it.
don't
We
want to
beat
be
the Sharks.
mean-spirited about, but like we won. We beat the Sharks. So
Last time we played, what did we put 50 on you?
yeah, I was here for it.
It was a
we did
trouncing. Yeah, we did a thing for it.
Eddie
Yeah.
just put me at a wedding.
No, I was
but
here. I was here.
for the 50.
Yeah.
I was here.
Oh, my apologies. He wasn't here. He wasn't here.
No respect, bro.
Nah.
He doesn't like you come up with all the ideas. He
I
always
know.
says check the tape.
I know.
Why don't you check the tape that he was bloody here, mate?
I'm telling you, he
It's
wasn't
not very
here.
nice.
That's
very
really
nice.
not
No,
right.
it's okay.
Jesus, don't even notice when he's around anymore.
No, he doesn't.
Gets his hair trimmed now, like with his beard by some ritzy hairdresser
Mate, it's
now.
because actually the growth of my, like, look at his beard, right? True and honest. And you'll actually probably be able to get me a little bit on this because you do, like me, have an uneven, displacement of hair across your face. You
I'm
know what
happy
I
with
mean?
it.
No, but I'm just saying,
I feel like you're negative me right
if you're
now.
growing a beard like me, if I'm cutting it myself, I've got like a bald patch under here. Here just looks thick because it's long. So I need a professional to do that if
Yeah,
I want to
okay.
maintain. If I start trimming it down myself, I look like an absolute fuckhead.
See, I just feel like who cares? I look like a fuckhead anyway.
Yeah, but you don't look like a fuckhead, but you just, you're getting down on yourself. But I mean, I would love to see you with a beard. I'd love to
I'll
see
tell you what,
come here.
12 months ago, Tom wouldn't have got his hair done by
I was
a
doing it
high-end
12 months
hairdresser.
ago. I go to the same guy all the time. I don't
just
remember
saying.
the name of the
I
place.
thought
though,
you
but
said
it's
you've
on
never
Bondi
got your
Road.
beard cut by a guy earlier.
Yeah, you said that earlier.
No, I didn't.
Check
I've
the
got
tape.
it cut a bunch of fucking times. I said I wouldn't even be able
Mate,
to
honestly
count.
though, didn't he say that he'd never got it done by a
What the
hairdresser?
fuck? are you
I'm
talking
going to
about?
take Tom's side on this. I think you guys said that he did it himself
Thank
once.
Christ.
I thought he said he'd never got it done by a hairdresser
I
before.
said I've been done heaps. I said, but I pair it with a haircut.
Interesting.
Thank Christ you're here, mate.
So 24 months ago,
I've
you
had
would
a
have done
fucking nice cold shower, so I'm firing today. You're not catching me
Interesting.
slipping.
Interesting. Now, who have you got? Obviously, Rabbitohs.
Rabbitohs.
Yep, Rabbitohs. I'm
Yeah.
going Bronx. Raiders, Bulldogs. Chance returns. Croker returns.
Dogs,
Mate, Kroger's back. Skipper.
dogs.
I'm going Raiders. A good,
I
honest,
want
true
the
win.
Raiders, bruh. The Raiders at home.
Yep. And Ricky was fuming.
Like, I reckon we were talking about this earlier. There's a part or a moment in time where Ricky could flip unless there's a win.
My question would be that's happened so many times and it just hasn't happened.
But
No, but
got
they always get a little winny just to
Every now and then.
to make it feel better. Like they never fucking slide off into a massive abyss.
Yeah.
They always get little wins here and there
I
just
hear
to
ya.
fucking patter.
You're going Raiders, so I won't be.
Okay.
That is the long and the short of it.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the Raiders get
Makes
the win.
sense. It's a good call,
It'd be
mate.
silly for me
Yeah,
to go
it
Raiders.
would be
It'd
mad.
and
No,
then they
it'd be-
lose. It'd be
Look, I'm
fucking
trying to talk you into
Yeah,
it
but
just
it'd
to
be
see what
so
you're made of.
dumb if I did it.
Well, just to see how dumb you are.
Well, I'm not that dumb. Not that dumb.
Panthers, Eels.
Panthers will win.
Panthers will win.
Do you think, is there a chance of a bounce back from the Eels?
What, because
No.
Brown goes to 6? I don't think so.
I think
More just because of they've been under the pump.
The fact that they've moved Brown to 6 now, I basically think that the Eels are going like this. They were really good. Even though we bag them out, they were a great team to watch. They then, through no one, there are scientists working around the clock trying to work out where the logic was of moving him to the centres. And then now they're like, oh, whoops, we're moving back to 6. It's like, nah, sorry, too late.
In their defence, they did have an outside back, bit of a outside back
Yeah, but
crisis.
you weaken a strength.
I know. I agree with you. They shouldn't have moved him. But yeah,
So they won't be able to get. What I'm saying is they're fucked now. Season's over.
the season's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Holy shit!
Look, you read the writing on the wall, mate.
The
meme on the rock.
hieroglyphs. The meme on the rocks.
Meme on the rock.
dude. The meme is on the rock.
Read between the lines. It's all over for them. The Panthers will come out and control the game. Yeah, the Eels might have a crack. Yeah, it might be relatively close, but the Panthers will win.
I think this is going to be a cracking match because the Eels are
And I
going to be
think Panthers
angry.
win.
They've dealt with a lot of negativity online. It's been a huge week for the club. People have been spraying them about decisions. I think it galvanises them. I think that forward pack that's angry, ready to go, is a scary forward pack. But I think Panthers just pip them.
That's what I think. I think it'll be close.
Just pip them.
I think Cleary controls the game.
I mean, Cleary, he is just getting fucking hotter by the day. It's a joke.
Yep.
Manly versus Tigers.
Bruh.
Turbo returns.
Do you want to talk about Saturday afternoon humpings?
Yeah, I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be fucking.
What are you going to do if
rock
Tigers beat you, honestly?
Well, they won't, though, because we are
They aren't.
stacked.
Yeah, what do you mean? And look, I forgot about the whole Hastings DCE. I will be adding a DCE anytime try scorer into a multi.
That's a
but I'm
great
also
idea.
doing a Holy Trinity bet for this one, and you'll
Okay.
see it on About Even. But Manly 13 plus, obviously, and now we've got 3 absolutely divine, blonde as fuck Trebojeviches, and they're all going to score a try.
Okay, that's interesting. What are you going to do, though, if Tigers pound you into the earth?
They won't,
not
mate.
going
It's
to.
Saturday afternoon at Brookvale.
Okay.
Turbo's back. No, not
No.
at Blokevale,
Oh,
because you're not a sponsor.
Okay.
Turbo's back. Burbo's in. Alloway's
back.
in.
Dude, Alloway
Schuster,
back is-
he's got 1 game under his belt. He'll come in and
Mate, he
fucking
looked
rip
good.
and
He
tear.
looked
Fuck, he
good,
looked
didn't
good.
he?
Good. He looked unbelievable.
And now he's 21. Now he's 21. He's a man now.
He's a man. He's a man.
He's a man now.
Mate, you
Fucking
can
hell.
tell it. We can all tell.
Okay.
There's something on the air. There's a
so-
rugby league humping coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Manly get the win.
Oh, do you?
Roosters,
Leilua
Titans.
and Norfoluma out
I know.
as well. They're only
Yeah.
good players.
Peachy's in.
Not
disrespect.
their only good players. Jeez, Hastings been
you
good.
said that. I
12's
didn't
been
say
good.
it.
Oh, fuck off. Roosters, Titans.
Roosters, but I'm not confident in anything they're doing.
I think
but-
Roosters win in like a relatively tight one.
I think Roosters win. I think it's actually a solid win for the Roosters. Not too big, but a solid, good win because they need that as
They
a club.
need it, dude. You can't be going and looking shaky against the Titans, even though you just lost to the Dogs, so anything's possible. And, you lost
And
to the
arguably
Dragons.
didn't score a point against the Dogs.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Do you know what
But
I mean?
they seem to be making
It's not like
things.
they're drowning in points.
They seem to be creating chances and fucking them. It's not like their attack is like flaccid.
They're not
Yeah.
converting.
The Roosters are a really interesting side because it's not like they're playing so bad where you're going, well, what the it's just not clicking for them. They're
You
just
made a
so
good point as well that they were 4 from 8 in their 2018
2018.
premiership
Yeah.
season.
And they won that year. It was the first year Cooper arrived. They were
Yeah.
a bit disjointed. Suppose that's the way the Roosters do it. They build into a season because they want to peak at the end of the year.
I think they'll
where
go
the
for a run.
Chockies are one.
I think they'll go for a run at the end of the year.
I think after they come back from Origin, I think
Yeah.
they'll fucking roll big time.
So we going
But I
Roosters?
didn't see enough last
Roosters
week
for sure.
that said to me, big win here.
Yeah, okay.
Then was it Matty Johns on the on Morning Glory that said that Storm come out of the gates early, whereas Roosters kind of aim for around 18 and 20? Was that?
Yeah, so
on that show?
We're saying Roosters are beta come.
No, well, Storm are. 'cause
Alpha.
they
Sorry,
come
Storm,
early.
beta come, Roosters,
Um,
alpha come.
That's right.
Yeah, so Storm, their MO is we start the fucking season well because they believe that if you get some wins under your belt early, it just sets you up in good stead for the back end of the season. You can rest players, whereas Roosters more have their I guess idea of a season is just building into that late run, that late push. A bit similar to Bennett. Bennett's a bit more up and down, but Bennett has always been about that late run. Storm have always been about just being ruthless motherfuckers, but they truly believe in starting well because it just sets your whole season
Like
up.
when they took that penalty to put it to 50 against the Knights at the end of the game and they could have gone for a try, it's like, oh, that's ruthless.
Yeah,
as
that is
fuck.
ruthless. I mean,
That is
and
ruthless
that's
as
part of the Storm. A reason why they're so great is they're ruthless. Like they don't allow the fact that they're already pounding you into the earth to stop them from pounding you in the earth. They pound harder.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
good.
What did
We've
you
got 'em
make
beat.
of the Knights taking the 2 points?
Saddest thing in rugby league
Down
history?
by 20.
Is it the saddest moment? Because
I
we
don't-
thought the
Like,
biggest,
what is surely that's just we don't want to get a donut.
I don't-
What
I
other
don't-
attitude could it be?
the most beta thing in rugby league history was when the Tigers took the 2 points against the Titans in a 6-4 whatever. Until that moment,
Yeah, that was a strange one. I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe Adam O'Brien would have called out to take the 2. I think it may have just been some inexperienced decision making on the field, thinking, look, we'll take the 2, we'll get the ball back and build back into the game. I know it seems
half
crazy.
time.
Yeah, I know it seems crazy, but it's look, we can go in 20-0 or 20-2. We come out I don't know. I wouldn't have gone for 2 for sure. But yeah, I just think it's inexperienced. Because when you actually look at the spine for the Knights, it's a very inexperienced spine. I know Ponga's been here for a few years now, but he's still relatively young. You've got Clune, who's hasn't played 50 games. You've got Clifford, who I may be coming up close to his 50 now, who is actually taking the week off for personal reasons. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just want to send him the best wishes, whatever is happening to him personally. And I also, look, you're a professional and playing poorly, it's your job. But at the same time, I think sometimes we don't know what these blokes are dealing
Fully.
with. So,
Just to defend the Knights, the tiniest bit, it was 26-0. There was no time left, and that got them from 5 converted tries to 4. It's not. I know it was 50-2 in hindsight.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
fair.
like it's a guaranteed 2 points. It's like, yeah, it looks like you're not going for the big play, but the chances of them scoring were so minimal. It's like, look, let's just get the 2, go back in, and then we'll come out the second half and reboot. Now, obviously, they didn't reboot.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good in theory.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What's interesting is the KP situation. Man, I feel like it's like the tension is like ratcheting up as the weeks go by where they struggle. It's like, fuck, because the issue now for KP is like, not only has he signed this mammoth deal and a lot of expectation come with that, but he's been dealing with that his whole career because he's a superstar, but he's a captain as well. So he has to deal with all that as well. And it's going to be interesting. When Jaden Brayley comes back, I really wonder, does Brayley take that captaincy back off KP to just release a bit of pressure on KP? Not to say that he can't handle it. He clearly can handle pressure. He's been under the pump since he first came into the grade. But sometimes I think it's just extra worry that you shouldn't put on like a player that needs to be free.
Yeah.
Because he's the kind of free mover kind of guy. So I wonder what they're going to do in that situation. Because if I'm the Knights, I just want KP in the best headspace possible. Not to say that he's struggling or whatever, but surely if you're the captain of a club and you loss after loss, it's going to start negatively affecting you.
100%.
Because they're now 6 losses in a row.
I know.
It's getting
Mate, won the
scary.
first 2 and then lost 6. Like, no one would have believed
No
if you told
way.
them that after those first 2 wins.
They
They've been
certainly
like, bruh, you have got rocks in your head.
Mate, those first 2 wins, I'm going, this is a top 8 side. They looked gun. And it wasn't just like fluky stuff. It was all the hard parts of footy, like
But in
working hard.
hindsight, if you were to employ it, they beat the Roosters, who aren't going too well, and the Tigers.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
you know.
I don't think we would have expected
Still,
them to fall
6
off this
losses.
hard.
I'm
Yeah.
with you. I'm
It's
with
like
you.
even the Doggies
and in
have
the
jacked
in the last 2 weeks have scored 2 points in both games.
Yeah, 4 points total, Eddie.
That's the math.
What I will
checks
say is
out.
That does check out. That's
Oh,
how it
mate.
shakes out.
That's normal math and rugby league math.
yeah,
Yep.
it is.
I will say, like, I do believe they've got to stick by Adam O'Brien. I don't think pressure should build for him.
Sometimes they're too quick to just say a coach is going to get fucking sacked.
Absolutely.
And you're like, all right, let's chill out. Like, they did make the finals last year, and they were 2-0 to start
Yep.
the season. Like,
And when he took over, I think they were like 14th or 13th on the ladder. They've made the finals, I'm pretty sure, every year except for maybe one since he's been there, or maybe even every year. Could you check that for us, Matty?
was last year's first year?
No, the year before, I think, was his first year, and I'm pretty sure they've made the finals both years.
Well, they made the finals last year. They played the Eels, round 1 and a loss.
Yeah, but it was a good game, though.
It was a fucking ripper of a game. Where was that? It was up at Redcliffe
was it Rocky?
Oval.
I think it was Rocky.
A Rocky,
Rocky,
that's right. It was a
yeah.
Rocky.
It was
that
a
was a
great
ripper
game.
game.
So yeah, he came in 2020, came 7th, and then 2021 came 7th as
and
well.
what did they come the year before that?
11th, last 12th.
So I think you got to put that into context.
Yeah.
Like, he's clearly progressed the club forward. It's kind of like the Eels situation. 2-3 years ago, people were calling for Brad Arthur to be sacked. He has built that club into I believe they're a premiership threat. And every single year they've gotten a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. They've recruited really well. Mitchell Moses is playing the best footy of his career. Brown has developed. Gutho has developed. Papali'i, Matness, all of them. So I think sometimes you got to take a step back and go, yes, they're in a slump right now, Knights, but they have progressed so far as a club, and Adam O'Brien has been partially, or a big part of that. So I believe he's earned the right to to have at least another, because he's 2 years now? I think that if you're going to, back a coach, I think a good 5-year block, unless it is just so untenable, like what happened to the Broncos, is probably the right amount of time to give, especially if they've improved each year since they came. Anyway.
Good points.
Great points.
Roosters Titans, you're going Roosters. We're all going Roosters there, we think. Cowboys Knights.
Yeah, I mean, it's cows. Eddie and I, look, we've already addressed it on our own podcast, but obviously it's important to do it here. We've never apologised for anything in our entire life.
No.
Not about to start. Not about to start, because we're not wrong. But if there was a world where an apology was given, you could argue
In an alternate reality.
if an apology was ever given, it could be to Todd, Vinny Chase,
And the rest of the Cowboys entourage.
Because you were a bit not too excited about Chad, and I kind of did defend him quite a bit to you.
Oh, look,
Is that fair?
it's not about you, Denon, but look, we did.
Well, I'm part of the show.
No, you absolutely are.
No, we
but
just
it's
said
we're just-
explain the
Like,
Chad.
I kind of feel like
purchase.
my opinion matters in this area.
Oh, no, absolutely. Just more that, we are speaking directly in an alternate universe, of course, to the Cowboys and their entourage, as you
Yes.
said.
Look,
Doing all right.
We
Looking pretty
wouldn't
good.
apologise. They're coming third.
Looking pretty good.
Are you on the Chad bandwagon now?
I've always liked Chad.
Like
We've always liked
as a
Chad.
footy player on the footy bandwagon.
Always liked Chad. He won a comp. Chad from Chad.
I like Chad.
We just saw Chad was aging.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's making sense. They're coming third. Hopefully they make the 8. If they don't, then it's going to be a bit of a disaster. I think you could argue.
well,
From
luckily,
here.
From here on out.
From here.
For
yeah.
sure.
But
For
I
sure.
had them winning the spoon. So in a world in which I was apologising, which I would never,
Yeah.
they might earn one.
Yeah. In the infinite expanse of the universe,
Yeah.
where there is infinite versions of you that exist, maybe one of them would apologise.
One of them probably would.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
Potentially. And that's
one of the infinite number.
and we went hard at Vinny Chase.
You know what's crazy about like the number in like infinity is like, if infinity exists, that means that every version of me exists and everything that can happen does happen.
Yeah. To the point where there's like another version of you whose life has been identical to yours up to
Identical.
this point.
Except you just moved your finger.
And then he didn't.
And he didn't.
But
and
that's
the only change.
But that times another infinite as well. And like that to me, like the idea of infinity,
It's too much for us.
it's too much for my head to
Yeah, dude.
handle.
It's too much for us.
No. way
Like
too
anything that could possibly happen in the human experience has happened and will happen, and it has happened infinite times over as well.
Bro, I couldn't wrap my head around the Cowboys signing Chad Townsend. So the idea of infinity is fucking way too much.
I thought it was right up your alley.
Listen,
But in these infinite sort of situations, there is a couple of times that really
fucking really
that really
s-
vibe Chad.
but they can see that it was, with the benefit of hindsight and maybe me being a dead shit of sorts, got it wrong.
And I wonder if in infinite versions of you, there's a version where you can grow
Grow
out
a proper beard.
up the bottom of your beard.
I reckon there would
I
be.
hope so, dude. I hope that guy's got a great beard, and I hope he's loving it.
But it actually wouldn't be you because it'd be a different genetics. So it wouldn't be you. You actually probably never could, because that would be different genetics.
Well, if it's infinite,
But
Infinite,
if you're
like,
genetically different, wouldn't it mean that it's
But
not you?
if there's infinite realities, then wouldn't there be a situation where his DNA was just like tweaked slightly?
But then
Or
if
a different
that's
sperm
not him though. Then
well, no,
wouldn't
but I
it
mean,
be?
surely if it's an infinite reality, there's one where you're 6'2".
Yeah, have to.
Yeah, but that if
It's still you. You're just a
but
taller
that's my
guy.
genetics would change then. Then that's not technically me because I'm
Well,
my DNA's changed.
maybe.
So now you're arguing with the idea of infinity, and
No,
this
I'm not.
is-
I'm saying like
you-
if there is me, then all the actions I can take. So I can't physically change, but I can do things.
But if it's
That's what I'm
infinite,
talking
then there's a possibility where your genetics are identical, but for some reason you're just a little bit taller.
about. But that's how do you get taller if your genetics are different?
because he eats differently.
Because of the
does food help you get
Yeah,
taller?
fuck yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was all genetic.
Don't come to me. I've got no idea.
There
you
might
search
also
that?
be a situation in which he buys a little beard cream,
Maybe
You know
there's
what I mean?
a universe where there's a beard cream that grows your hair.
like for little bald
Yeah.
spots.
I tell you what, if food can make you taller, we need to research
I don't know how true that is, Dan.
because
I don't know how. I
I'd
feel
be
like
feeding
he's-
myself.
Are you telling me that diet, right, when you're growing, wouldn't have any fucking impact?
but
no,
that's
it would.
musclier but taller.
Is it?
Well, we got the answer.
Are you telling me you couldn't carve out a couple of
It's an
centimeters?
extremely fence-sited answer. Height is largely due to genetics, blah, blah, but during years of growth and development, however, good nutrition can help a person reach their full height and support their body
Reach their
growing.
full height. That's interesting. I wonder what their full thing is. I wonder how much it can change.
Feet.
Feet. So
Oh,
I could
fuck
be.
yeah.
That's
No, it would be a couple of
crazy.
centimeters.
Yeah,
probably.
that's crazy. Because then, like, you'd be researching. Like, I'm looking that shit up and feeding my kids exactly what they need to be fed to be as tall as they can be.
You want so now you're a heightist.
Yeah.
Well, it's better to be taller.
Wow. Sorry, small guys.
If I want them to be
sorry,
athletic-
short kings. Sorry, short kings. Really
You know,
sorry.
that's, I think it's what is it? 18% of people are over 6 foot.
Really?
Do you would,
You're right on 6 foot, aren't you?
yeah, I'm about 6'1".
I think I'm 6 foot.
You're 6 foot? Yeah. Could you imagine?
6'2" and above is like 8%.
You know, like I think 7 foot, like 1 in 10 people that are 7 foot play in the NBA or something like that.
Yeah.
Some
I've heard
crazy
that
stuff.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And that's
basically you're a shoo-in.
You're shooing.
That you'd be Devo if you're just a 7 foot loser.
Well, there's 9 in 10 that are.
Yeah.
Poor bastards.
Imagine being 7 foot and not like everyone always be like, you play basketball, and you'd be like, no,
Yeah.
No, my hand-eye is
I'm just
fucked.
a normal dude that's really tall.
Well, you're not normal. You're huge.
I've actually got joint pain. I struggle to walk.
Yeah.
The answer's going through around 12 to 15%.
Of people above 6 foot?
Yeah, that's the range.
How many?
Wow.
Sorry,
Okay.
Short Kings.
Well,
Doesn't
isn't it
respect
the
you.
year of the short king because
Yeah.
of Tom Holland?
Is he short?
Tiny. And his misso Zendaya.
Who's
tall.
smoking?
Are they together?
Come on. Bro. You know that.
I
Keep
swear,
up,
I
bro.
swear on everything. I didn't know
Hey,
they're together.
Hey, keep up.
Keep up.
Wow.
Even I knew that. And I
Really?
didn't know who Zendaya was like 2 months ago.
Is Zendaya one of the all-time names?
It's a great name.
It's one of the great names.
Don't
I-
want me, bruh.
Yeah, I
How do
wouldn't
you
want
not
us,
know
Matty.
who
We're not all
Zendaya
fucking
is?
22 and scissoring. Like I saw her in Dune or June.
Yeah.
I don't
saw
know.
her in
I don't know
June.
which way it's meant to pronounce it.
Well, we're not Yanks, so it's June.
yeah, that's how I would say it. I
Dune
didn't say
Buggy.
Dune.
Remember that song, Dune Buggy?
Yeah, shout out to the presidents.
If
of
it was
the
Dune,
United
it'd be
States.
D-O-O-N.
Yeah.
Like Bonnie Dune.
Yes.
Now, Cowboys Knights. We going Cowboys?
Cows,
Fucking oath.
moo.
Storm Dragons.
Storm Dragons.
Storm are going to fucking pummel this side so comprehensively they'll just be dust.
What about Storm playing Panthers in Magic Round? How hectic is that?
Yeah,
It's
what day?
just special.
I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure. But it is.
Probably a Sunday. Try and keep me there all weekend.
Yeah, keep you. It's the last game on Sunday.
Well, you don't want to be
keep you
kept there?
Well, I'm saying if it's a Sunday Arvo,
Saturday.
there. Saturday.
Oh,
what
done.
time?
It's the last game, so 7:30.
Well,
Shit.
we'll be there.
Oh,
We'll be there.
wow.
Will we
Ripping
all be
and tearing.
there?
We'll all be
Yeah,
there.
We'll all be there.
Holding
We'll all be
hands in
there.
that?
Holding hands and
Holding hands.
drinking responsibly.
In that? Listen, I think Storm just keep rolling, bar.
Keep rolling.
Keep rolling, keep
Yeah.
pounding, keep fucking
Limp
humping.
Biscuit.
Keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
Yes, Storm.
Sorry.
Storm win. Sharks Warriors.
Sharkies.
Sharks.
Let's go Sharkies. Other
Yes.
Sharkies.
I think this is an interesting game because Sharkies, they did struggle a bit. Like someone did bring up a good point with Sharkies last week. They played 3 games in 11 days, and I think that may be why a lot of the passes didn't stick towards the end of the game.
Too much footy.
Too much footy.
These passes will be much stickier.
They'll
I
stick.
think.
Oh yeah, they'll stick.
Yeah, I think
Sharkies get the
that's
win.
what you'll say Sunday.
Yeah.
Arvo.
Sunday Arvo, some
sticky
real
passes.
sticky
Sticky
passes.
passing. They'll just
Hey.
be running around like that with the ball.
Well,
in
like
their
they
hand.
didn't have time to re-stick the balls.
It's like those things where
3
you like,
games in 11
you do,
days.
You take them to the beach. One to be green and one to be pink.
Well, that's the Velcro thing, yeah. But you know,
Can
like
you
with
run
the-
on with them? Maybe just run on with them.
Well, you know, no.
they'll stick.
That's it's not Velcro. There's no Velcro on the balls, you idiots. You know when you,
You put
use
little
like,
Velcro stabs on
you know
it.
when you use post-it notes and they eventually lose their stick. That's what we're dealing with here. So these things, eventually everything loses its stick.
So you don't reckon they run on like that?
No, I don't.
Damn.
I think
Oh,
it's. I
Devo.
think
We're
it's.
just trying to think outside the box, bro.
I'm just telling you what the reality is. It's post-it notes.
But in an
stickiness.
infinite reality, maybe that's how they play their rugby league.
Yeah.
Completely.
Maybe they make Velcro balls.
Dude, maybe their jerseys are made out of Velcro. So you just have to catch it on your chest. Something to think about.
It is something to think about.
All right, that is the show.
Yeah, we'll leave you with that to
We'll
ponder.
leave you that to ponder. Infinite realities, all that good stuff. Keep your eyes peeled for the merch drop in the next month or so.
Couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks. Okay, now we're down to 2 weeks. Fortnight.
2 days. No, just keep your eyes peeled.
Also, bloke jerseys. They are dropping. 6 p.m. Monday. Get them so you can wear them for Magic Round next week, which is going to be absolutely huge. As we said, we will most likely be up there. Grab a case of Bloke in a Bar. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give the video a like, and we'll go and fuck ourselves. Thank you.